that's the best argumentation versus bad argumentation. Again, I'm your gracious host, Enos. I'm here to serve you with humility and dedication. Spot. I got, I got the family in. I got the crowd's favorite. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce them on to my right. To my left, I got Uncle Ruckus on the weekends, man. What you got for the folks, man, for the viewers?
Again, it's your guy Uncle Ruckus on the weekends, man. I came today. I'm with the ignorance. I came to cause drama, man. I ain't playing no games. Don't play with me, man. Play with your mama.
That's what I'm talking about, crowd. That's what I'm talking about, man. And on the bottom, underneath him, we got T, man. What you got for the folks, man, for our viewers?
All right. Well, if we talk about Charleston White versus hip
hop, hold on. I'm gonna introduce that. This is what you got, man. I'm gonna tell them what the topic is later.
Whoa. Come on. If we talk about Charleston White versus hip hop, man, let me introduce myself. All right.
Okay. That man get his intro off, man.
I would say
okay.
Hip hop is about a good 8 years older than me, so I can say I was here from the beginning.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
And if you want to introduce me, I introduce myself and say, you've seen him. Listening to Ice Cube, Chuck Rock, Big Daddy Kane, and MC Breed in my spare time.
I witnessed.
You seen him. You seen him reciting verses to hip hop in elementary school before I knew what a pronoun, a subject, and a predicate was.
Talk that talk.
You seen him gripping the wheel of a foreign vehicle in the state of Georgia and Carolina, quote unquote, bumping underground hip hop.
Run your mouth.
More than qualified to speak on this topic. Yours truly, T.
Yeah.
Hey, the folks, y'all heard. This is why we had to bring him back, man. He was on for our first episode, T, man. This is why we got to bring him back, man.
Man, you almost messed it up too.
Let him have it, man. What's up, man? We got Broham on the bottom, man. What's up? What you got for the folks, bro?
Hey, man. It's just me again, man. I'm just here to chop it up with the fellas. That's all I got. I ain't got nothing as good as T, man. I'm sorry.
I ain't want to go behind that. Look.
Why you let me go on after DMX?
Yeah, man. So T already mentioned it, man. Today's show, the topic is Charleston White versus hip hop. That's the topic for today. We're gonna get into a lot of his antics, some of his commentary against hip hop or maybe for hip hop. That's what the show is about today. So we're just about to get into the videos, and I'm going to ask the panel what their thoughts on some of these videos, all right?
Let's get it.
All right. Showing up for y'all?
Yeah.
Death to all Crips and Bloods. Death to all GDs and BDs. May they all die like King Von. May they all die like Drakeo the Ruler. May they all die like Nipsey Hussle in vain.
All right.
Let's
get right into it. I'm gonna start off with Broham, man. What's your thoughts on the clip?
That's definitely shock value. If that's what he wanted, a lot of people reacted to that for sure. I don't know if I go that far to get attention, or I understand what he's trying to do. I just don't know if I go that far. That's all I really got right now.
All right.
Well, what was the context of that video? Because, that's like a little small clip. Was it anything in the beginning for him to film himself saying death to these rappers from Chicago and rappers who rap in that type of way?
Nah, he just mentioned the ones that died. He said Nipsey and King Von. So
Gotcha. Okay.
So how about let me pivot right quick. Let me just ask this question. Can y'all see it on the screen?
Nah.
All right. Let me just ask this: is Charleston White out of line for disrespecting the dead? Let's just start off with that. Fresh, what you got for us?
I think it depends on what set of morals and values you're going by. If I'm being honest, there's certain rules and regulations for certain cultures. What he's saying may not ruffle the feathers of of civilians, if you will, but I think he's trying to antagonize a certain community. So I'm gonna say he is out of pocket because I don't think he has to go that far. I think he's doing too much in that particular aspect, disrespecting the dead. I don't have any love for any of those cats, man. But at this point, they dead. They can't even defend themselves. So, from the perspective of me as just as a man, if folks can't respond, I don't see why you kind of bringing their name into it after they
because like you said, there's other people that's involved, got family members, but you did say that he's out of line. So you're saying, he's out of line, right? All right, T, what you think, bro?
I don't think he's out of line, man. He's a clown. He told us years ago he's playing a character online. So he's saying anything outrageous, outlandish, just to get some attention, like Broham said. Now, I really don't do hypotheticals, but if these individuals were alive, they probably wouldn't respond to this jackass, right? Because they already know. They might have people on their team that might say, hey, this dude's a clown. They know him, just keep making your millions of dollars while this dude's a fool. Draping himself with Confederate flags.
He got a lot of action from some of these rappers out here, man. I mean, he mentioned a bunch of dead ones, but he got a lot of attention and interaction and engagement from some of these other folks he's talking about. They're not ignoring him. I think that's why that's why he's still doing it, because it's working.
Hold on, to what extreme though? Are they putting him in his raps? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's in raps. He's on videos. Folks pulling up on him, trying to assault him. I guess he does comedy now. They attacked him at his show. Like he definitely is getting action outside.
Was rappers attacking him?
Yeah,
because I just seen comedians like whoever that dude is from Atlanta.
Hold on, before we deviate, because I want y'all to go back and forth about rappers might be attacking him. I want to make sure I get T. You actually saying he's not out of line because of what again? Because he's playing a character. I want to make sure.
Yeah, he's playing a character. He told us years ago. This is his niche,
and that's why he's not out of line.
No, I don't think so, man. Like
I think we hold
when somebody telling you what their agenda is, right? It's not coming from their heart. You gotta look at them like they crazy. They clowns, man. He's doing it for clicks.
Hold that thought. Let me get Broham in there as the question. You remember what the question was, Broham?
Is he wrong for disrespecting the dead?
Is he out of line?
Out of line?
Yeah, I want to make sure, and then we get back into the discussion. I want to get your.
I kind of agree with Uncle Ruckus on that one, man. I mean, if that's not against his morals, man, you can say what you want, man. It's America, you know. So.
That's basically what I was saying.
Yeah. Well, I agree with both of y'all. Yeah. You said because he's a clown, but yeah.
If you get to the point where you got to become a character, you don't have any morals, man. You know what I'm saying? He just causing ruckus out here.
We said when you become a character, you don't have any morals. Can you expound on that?
Okay, particularly when it comes to him and what he's doing. He already told us what he's doing, what his intentions is when he goes online. So you can't take that serious.
You want to speak to that, Uncle Ruckus?
I mean, we hold other characters responsible for things they say, even while they're in character. So I don't know why he would be different. And again, you can antagonize the group of folks that you trying to antagonize without getting what I would consider too far out of line. And I'm with the smoke, right? I'm with, say what you're gonna say. My thing is more, I would say, if you're gonna talk ish about, gangbangers, it's plenty of live gangbangers who can respond to you. I just can't. I can't understand, right? This is just me personally, right? I don't have no love for street dudes, gangbangers. Outside of this particular part of the topic, I tend to agree with Charleston White on a lot of stuff that he says, but I just think that they can't respond. This is throwing dirt on somebody who can't respond back when you have plenty of other like targets to antagonize.
But
now, because at this point you got mothers, children, who now they the only ones who can receive this hate. They can't be protected from it by the target of it, because I mean, he gone. This is a real world sore spot that I think does not fall within the realm of the character that he's playing. But it is his character, so again, do what you want to do at your own risk.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with T on that, as far as, you know, he did tell us what he was out to do. He's out to, you know, piss folk off. He's out to bring attention to himself. I just think there's a limit, or there should be a limit on pretty much everything that you do, in the sense that if you can accomplish that goal without crossing certain lines, I think you should strive to do so.
But you said only if it's only crossing that line if you have a moral compass, right?
Yes, that's what he said.
Okay, so you want to add to that, to what he was saying, T?
Well, what I can say in general, man, when it comes to this guy, right? I don't think he has any limits, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he's talking the way he's talking, right? But we're going to say, oh, that's too far when you talk about the dead. This motherfucker gonna talk about people's mothers. What's his name from Chicago that passed, and his mom was online.
FBG Duck.
Yes. You see what I'm saying? Like, where, okay, everybody wasn't in uproar about that. So where's the moral compass? He doesn't have one, obviously. You know what I'm saying? The best thing to do with people in life, ignore them, and they go away like a bad dream. Don't be affected by it.
Go ahead, Broham. You got something you want to say? Add to it?
Well, I mean, I don't want to switch the topic, but I mean, to play devil's advocate, I mean, he could say I'm doing exactly what a lot of those dead rappers that I talked about did.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's a good point.
All right.
Yeah. And I call BS on that.
Explain.
That's a form of what you call double talking. You see what I'm saying? This dude is like, I ain't gonna say he a genius or he brilliant.
Hold on. You said you called BS. You said double talk. Explain a little bit. No.
All right, double talk is basically coming with an agenda, right? Which he already said. And double talking, you use key words. You say us, them, we, against a particular subject that you're talking about. So when he speaks, he says, "Oh, why y'all coming at me when y'all should be focusing on these Memphis rappers?" You see what I'm saying? How y'all going to talk about what I'm saying about FBG Duck Mama when Nipsey Hussle was saying this? Both of them wrong, but the way he double talk is making it seem like, hey, I'm doing this, so we should be focused on them. That's double talking. Politicians do it all the time. Millions of celebrities do it all the time to get the light off of them and say, hey, I know I'm doing this, but what about them? What they say in politics and voting, vote for the lesser evil.
Okay. Oka Ruckers, we're gonna bring in Vulcan. Vulcan's coming. Welcome, Vulcan. Just keep you tuned in.
Welcome.
What up?
Yeah, I'm gonna just put the question on for you.
Turn on the lights, man. You look shiny.
I was gonna get Fresh. Do you want to add to that? What T was just saying as far as the double talking?
I mean, yeah, by that definition, I understand what he's saying, and politicians do it. My goal would, so again, like I said, this doesn't apply if you don't have a moral compass. So if we're standing on that, right, if that's what we're basing it on, then I don't really have anything to say. I'm saying with any sort of even in war, right, when you have a burnt a burnt ground policy, when burnt ground warfare, even in warfare, depending on who you are, right, there are lines you don't cross.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think that should be a line you don't cross, only because I think he can accomplish what he's trying to accomplish without crossing those lines.
I understand that.
If he's on kamikaze time, which it seems like he is, then
he's not operating off any rules. I'm
just
gonna get Vulcan.
Low key.
Hold on, T. See, I'm gonna get Vulcan in. I want
check some of the folks he's talking about a little bit.
Hold on, Fresh. I want to get Vulcan in so he can speak to it. All right, Vulcan. Is Charleston White out of line for disrespecting the dad?
Mic check.
Yeah, you're on mute, Vulcan.
I think he looks like he's trying to figure out how to get off. He probably hit that button a couple times.
I'm gonna add another person in. While you're trying to figure that out, okay, we can just. Oh, there you go. What up? Hold on. Welcome, Kay. You're on mute. Oh, like he fuzz. All right, go ahead, Vulcan. Can we hear you?
Can y'all hear me pretty good?
Yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the
Let's go,
question is,
homeboy.
Charles, White out for disrespecting the dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't really respond to what's already been said because I didn't hear that part. But one thing I can say is my first thought when it comes to this issue is would anybody have any issue with somebody speaking very negatively about some of the villains from the past?
Like Hitler?
Hitler could be a good example. If people spoke very disparagingly about Hitler, would anybody have a problem with that?
No, we do it all the time.
Yeah.
You would have a problem with it, T?
Oh, my bad. Is that a question? I thought you was going to lead to something, Vulcan.
Vulcan, you
yeah.
ask you that question again?
So my thought process would be this right here. I mean, I can ask the question to the panel. Or I can just kind of say my train of thought. I'm kind of just doing the math backwards at this point. I'm thinking, the people that Charleston White disrespects, quote unquote, they're close to home. They look like us. We can relate to them culturally, and so I'm trying to filter out my biases. So I think about somebody that I can't relate to at all, but still human. So I thought about, we could use Hitler as an example, as Eno's pointed out. People speak very disparagingly about Hitler all the time, and I don't really hear people raise a fuss about that. So I'm thinking in my head, why is it okay with Hitler, but not okay with some of these guys that we don't like him talking negatively about since they passed? The only real difference I can see is because we haven't liked them.
True. I don't think that's true, Vulcan. Hitler's despised to this day.
I think that was his point. He's saying.
Hold on, Fresh. That's what he's saying. He's saying that people talk bad about Hitler to this day, and you don't hear nobody making a fuss about it. Versus people making a fuss about it when they talk about dead rappers.
Oh, okay. Now, if Charleston White passed, right? I don't think we'd be talking to him in the same light as Hitler 30, 40 years from now.
But we're not talking
about example.
He's likening Hitler to the rappers.
Hold on.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
We're not talking about Charleston White. We're talking about the rappers that promoted what people would consider terrorists of the community. People would consider them terrorizing the community. He's saying that the way Hitler terrorized a continent, when he passed, people in that area, just historians to this day talk bad about him. You don't hear a lot of people get upset about people talking bad about Hitler because of the stuff he did in the past, versus the rappers and the stuff they did in the past or the stuff they promoted in their music. People get upset when Charleston White disses, I guess you could say, their legacy after they passed. That makes sense?
Yeah, the only real difference I see between
it's he's frozen. Man. Okay.
All right, go ahead, T.
I get the gist of what he's saying now. I think the only way that can be equal is if a rapper was like a mega star like Drake or Tupac or Biggie that was able to influence this whole country like Hitler did. I think that'd be a good example. Me personally, like I said, I'm a hip hop guru. Never witnessed a rapper that can really influence a whole country like Hitler did.
Chief Keef.
Nah. If anything, Lil Wayne did with his image, but not as far as manipulating and controlling a whole nation. Everybody back in the day, y'all remember, was trying to look like Lil Wayne. That's the influence he had. But as far as like, if Lil Wayne was able to negatively like flip this country upside down, then yeah, I would compare him to Hitler in that regard. But it was kind of hard for me to understand that example. But I'm glad you broke it down, Enos.
If you want, what's your thoughts on that, Ruckus?
On what?
What James was asking.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to understand on Rutgers, right?
I understood it.
All right, okay. Fresh, Uncle, you mind go ahead and Stillman James' point?
Yeah, James is saying, why do we have a problem when people disparage rappers if we are going to characterize them, or which is what Charleston White is trying to do, is characterize them as monsters, right? Characterize them as social pariahs, all this stuff. If we don't have a problem when we do it with another human being that we consider a monster or a social pariah, somebody who's despised amongst people across the board. So really what I think is society agrees.
Hold on, we got to bring somebody else to the stage. Hey, what up, C? What up? Welcome to the Vocal Soapbox. Glad to have you, my bro.
Man, you just fucked up my man Flo, man.
Yeah, my bad. I ain't want to wait in the background too long, T. Just let me moderate, man. It's whole back.
All right.
What's going on,
up,
brother?
C?
How you doing? What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Man, we're doing all right, man. We're going to keep you up to speed, but I'm going to let my man Uncle finish what he was saying, man. Uncle Ruckus.
Absolutely.
No, you can get his opinion on it. You go ahead.
All right, we're going to keep you up to speed, man.
I feel you, Rock.
All right, man. Hey, yo.
Oh, man. I think we can move on, man.
Yeah.
No, I want to.
How you gonna bring this man on and not ask him the question?
Who said I was gonna move on? Hold on, Fresh.
Death
You
dog.
need to say my name right. I'm gonna change it back.
Dog, GDs and BDs.
Hold on.
Death to all Crips and Bloods. Death to all GDs and BDs. May they all die like King.
Hold on, T. Can you? So see if you hear the video. Everybody mute.
Death to all Crips and Bloods. Death to all GDs and BDs. May they all die like King Von. May they all die like Drakeo the Ruler. May they all die like Nipsey Hussle in vain.
In vain.
That's crazy. In vain is crazy.
Yeah, that's ill, man.
So they died for nothing. That's crazy.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me get C in here. All right, C. So the question is Charleston White out of line for disrespecting the dead? What's your thoughts on that, bro?
I believe in any scenario when you disrespecting the deceased is disrespectful in general. Charleston White has a good message, but the way he delivers his message, that's kind of wicked. You know what I mean? Like anytime where when you're disrespecting the dead, especially some people where you may have a mixed view, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way when he said something about Nipsey Hussle. Yes, it's true that Nipsey Hussle was a part of the Rolling 60s Crips, but he wasn't just a gang member. You know what I mean? He did a lot of things for his community as well. He was actually a uplifting activist, if you ask the people in his community. So I think Charleston White, in this specific scenario when he's disrespecting the dead, is disrespectful for doing that. Absolutely. I think anybody that does that is disrespectful.
All right. I guess what Volker was saying before you got on, see, is how come we don't see the same disdain when people say disparaging things about Hitler? But when you hear people say that Hitler, was considered a terrorist, he terrorized the whole continent of Europe, and gang members are considered terrorists of our communities. Well, we want to see why they don't talk about them in the same way. What's your thoughts on that?
It's a bit of a dichotomy. I mean, if you look at one side, I think the entire world.
Dichotomy, okay.
Yeah. the entire world may look at Hitler as an an evil person. I mean, which he obviously is or was. I believe that there's a disdain, for what he did and everything like that. I mean, honestly, it's the culture. The culture won't look at gangs as something that's terrible to the community. It's fantasized and stuff like that. Um, it's all about public perception and what's being put out there. The gangs is, I'm a little bit younger than y'all, so when we look at gang culture and that kind of media, I mean, it's fantasized. It's promoted in a better way. It should receive the same kind of disdain, but it won't. I think Hitler globally, worldwide, and what he believes and what his movement was, is just taboo.
Hey, see, I got a question, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, this T, man. All right. Now, my
Yes, sir.
question to you is like, who are we talking to? Like, what's your background? You a hip hop guru? Like, who are you?
We try to you want to get too personal as far as what you listen to. We want to keep it strictly about the ideas.
I want to know who's this giving his opinion.
For sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I was born and raised in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But my uncle was an A&R for Bad Boy, actually. And so I always been around hip hop, the culture. I'm like I said, I'm 26, man, but I listened to music back in the 90s. I know all about Big L.
Nice.
Like I listen to stuff like that. And so I can understand how, I guess, hip hop evolved. You know what I mean? In the beginning, it was more like nowadays, it ain't cool if you didn't put in no work, if you ain't kill nobody, if you ain't sell no drugs. Like, hip hop was about that before, based off of what my uncle told me, because again, he was from that time. But it was more, I guess, just like stories and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I guess telling about what your environment was. Nowadays, you can't be a rapper if you didn't have those kind of credentials and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But
we're gonna get back. We're gonna get back into. I got some questions for hip hop. We got some questions coming up for that. So just to stay focused on the topic,
sure.
What Charleston White was saying, I'm gonna just go with this quote. A gang is the same as a wolf pack. Gang members do not use the energies of friendship with one another, for they do not know what friendship is. If they are united, it is by a common bond of a desire to attack the world. What's your thoughts on that?
All right, who came with this definition? Was it a white scholar?
Just a quote. Yeah, I don't know if he's white.
Quote?
Well, that's what I'm saying. On this show, we're not focused on too much of the person. We're trying to just focus on the ideas and what I just read, the idea of that. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, in order for me to speak like I want, I really don't think no gang member is using this type of lingo to describe what their culture is. It sounds like somebody who's totally against gangs and discredit them for what they are.
This is definitely an outsider's definition.
Yeah, bro.
Gang.
So that's my take on
why you say that?
Quote. Based on no gang member is going to speak about themselves like this.
Wait a minute, we actually don't know that. Like I said, let's just focus on the idea, right?
Well, that's my take.
Because if it was a gang, because I heard people that's ex-gang members, they do talk about these gangs in this form of fashion to a certain degree. But I don't want to deviate. I just want to make sure. I just want to get y'all thoughts, strictly what y'all think about. Thought. Okay, that's your thought. All right, what you think, Broham? I ain't heard from you.
Hey, what's that last part? If they're united is by the what?
It says it's the last sentence is, if they are united, it is by the common bond of a desire to attack the world.
What's the chances of you shrinking the screen so the audience can see the whole quote?
No, ain't no chance.
I think they can see it. I think we just can't see it.
I figure it out, y'all. Hold on.
Yeah, I probably
good, bro.
Yeah,
there you go.
I'll pass. I'll go last on this one.
All right, Uncle.
Again, I don't agree with it. Even I don't agree with it. a gang is the
All
same
right,
as
all right. How
a
about we
wolf
do this? We're gonna get everybody who agrees, and then we come back around and you explain, so y'all get your thoughts together. So Fresh doesn't agree, T doesn't agree. Birmingham, do you disagree or disagree?
He disagree.
Bro, M. All right, see.
Oh my bad. I don't agree. All
right, so you disagree. C.
I disagree with it as well.
All right, Vulcan.
Hey, Vocal, we ain't got 15 minutes, man. Make it quick.
It said audio is bad. All right, so we start with T since you're the first one was speaking on this. Tell why you disagree.
Well, basically, like Ruck said, man, this is an outsider taking a view and an opinion about what a gang is and just assuming and insinuating what the whole intentions is.
But can I ask you a question? Why emphasize more on the outsider part if the statement is true or not? Why is that emphasized
that's
more?
my take on this, the outsider part. That's my take on this.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Why though?
Based on the language that's used.
No, I'm saying. All right, let me say this. The fact that you disagree, why does him being an outsider is one of your reasons why you disagree if the statement is true or not?
Because I would like to hear the original thoughts of a gang member instead of somebody from the outside. That's why. Okay. I can't really say this is right because it's somebody that's on the outside looking in.
All right.
Yeah. That's why I disagree.
All right. What's up?
Now, if you had like a source at the bottom of the quote from Nipsey Hussle before he passed, I'd be like, all right, I can give you another take, but I don't know who the hell wrote this, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and call the whole statement cap because for starters,
okay,
this is not even an accurate depiction or description of the inter-pack relationship in a wolf pack. Essentially, it's just saying wolves do not form friendships within their packs, which we know is not true. They form friendships. They form lifelong bonds. They're willing to die for one another. Are you saying that they are only in a pack because of their mutual desire to attack the world? I mean, even science says wolf packs typically don't even. I mean, they kill for a reason. Wolf packs typically don't kill for sport.
Right.
So, by the common bond of a desire to attack their world, they don't use their energies and friendships with one another, for they don't know what friendship is. Like, this isn't even an accurate description of what he's trying to compare gangs to. To be honest with you, if you go with this description, he kind of is accurately describing the gang, but he's not accomplishing what he thinks he's accomplishing.
Nah, the gang he's describing is the police.
All right, we're gonna get to that. Oh, but I do want to address T. I'm gonna go to C after this. Like I said, this is a critical thinking show. That's considered a fallacy to base. It's called the genetic fallacy to reject the argument because of his origin, because he's not a gang member. Like I said, this is a critical thinking show. We want to highlight that is considered a fallacious argument that you use.
No, I just said he's describing the police to me right now.
No, I'm saying as far as rejecting it because you don't know his origin, if he's a gang member or not, it's considered a genetic fallacy.
I just said again, bro, he's describing the police to me right now.
Yeah, I'm just addressing what you said earlier. All right.
Well, what I'm saying now, I changed my statement. This is the police he's talking about.
Okay, cool.
Good.
I'm gonna bring C and what's your thoughts? Agree or disagree? You say you disagree. So can you give me reasons on why you disagree?
I would just based off my own experience, it doesn't really seem like he's describing what I know a gang to be, and so I'm not gonna say everything, but again, it don't make sense. Just like I forgot his name, but somebody said it earlier. Friends can be formed in wolf packs all the time. Friends are formed in prison in some of the worst situations, and so just by that analogy alone, I would have to disagree with the statement. And based off of what my experience is it's not describing no gang.
Wait, hey, see, you think this is describing the police to you, man?
I mean, Yeah,
Hold on.
I could
Before
definitely,
you answer,
I could
hold on
definitely.
before you
Man,
answer.
let my man answer, bro.
No, hold on. We're gonna let Volker, and then we're gonna get everybody to answer that question. Let's get everybody to answer what they think about the quote first. All right, go ahead, Volker.
Sorry for the technical difficulties, fellas. We had like a tornado thing out here, and I finally was able to get my connection to be decent enough to be on here. So apologize for the interruption. But let's get to it. So looking at this right here, I can nitpick the wording a little bit, but I would say in general I do tend to agree with this statement right here.
I knew he would agree with this shit. Go ahead, man.
So yeah.
All right, can you give your reasons why you agree? You're the last one.
Okay, yeah, I'll give my reasons. So I'll make it short. So I'll just go. A gang is the same as a wolf pack. Obviously it's not the same. It's similar. I would change the word same and put similar in some ways, obviously. But I'm not going to nitpick the wording on it. Gang members do not use their energies in friendship with one another, for they do not know what friendship is. I do agree with that. I don't think that gang members really know what friendship is. People that if you've been around people that were involved with gangs or people that are associated with gangs, it's they tend to stop being friends over things that aren't genuine reasons to not be friends. So if somebody chooses to protect somebody they don't want protected, if somebody doesn't march to the orders of somebody else who's making them a dummy, you could lose your friendships over stuff like that. Somebody that's calling the shots tells you to do this or take out this person or execute this type of street justice, and you go, nah, man, that's cool. They'll look at you differently. They'll think, and they'll ostracize you from the community, similar to how cults do and religious cults will do. So I definitely think that part is true as well. It's not a true friendship. And then if they are united, it's by the common bond of desire to attack their world. There's a quote from Patrice O'Neill that he says that a man who's trying to make the world a better place, not a black man, he uses the N-word, but he says a black man is trying to make the world a better place. A black man that's not trying to make the world a better place can hear that. He can perceive that. So people that are involved in gangs, they have this strong desire to keep things chaotic because it serves their purposes. Anytime somebody would try to bring in righteousness or goodness or community, and if it goes against their values that aren't community driven, then they'll attack that.
Now, these examples you're giving, James, you seen that live for yourself? Or you just
I've definitely seen it live with gang members. We listen to gang members speak. Obviously, we go to school with gang members. We interact with them. We play basketball with them. We get girls with them, and you get to see their code of ethics and how they treat each other.
Nigga, you got Lisa Davis.
Sorry, what? You got Lisa Davis? He said.
Can't get no girls.
All right, we got my man K. Welcome to Vocal Soapbox, K. What's up, bro? Unmute yourself, K.
So do I finish my statement?
Welcome.
I'm just
you good,
nice.
man.
Go ahead.
Your time is over, G.
Yeah, bro.
Your time is up.
All right, anybody want to speak to that?
Nah, he did whatever. That's all.
All right. Nobody disagree?
Nah,
We all disagree. He was the last person to
disagree with what he just said, though. Disagree with his statement.
I said that
yes.
statement. About the police, man.
T's statement and my statement are diametrically opposed to what Vulcan said. He went last. He disagreed with us.
I didn't hear you.
I didn't get to hear everybody's perspective. I didn't get to hear anybody's perspective because of my technical difficulties.
Oh, that's fine. We ain't got time to rehash it. You
going
good, bro?
What? Going once, going twice.
Look at the rebroadcast.
Sold.
All right,
let's go.
It was like Wayne. See dudes like Wayne throws up blood all day or whatever, and like that artist do. And like what? Well, obviously that's the video of like Wayne and David, and like 40 Black was running up the car, like what's up now? And big. So like what? Like
I'm not thinking about it. I feel like it's frozen,
right,
straight up. Like you want to put on this. You look court on. You may go into the back of the buildings and fight. You know what I'm saying? Your homies and get put on.
Right.
You not from a gang.
Right.
Not only are you not from a gang, you may, you know what I'm saying, press line and put in work. Not necessarily kill nobody, but you know what I'm saying, put yours on the line. It ain't just you a blood when it's convenient because you got a camera and it look cool.
Yeah.
You around 100 Crips, you still a blood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When 40 out and run up on you, you still a blood.
Yeah.
And I ain't talking about Wayne.
Yeah.
I got respect for that movement. I like the dude as an artist. But I'm just saying on some gangbang shit.
Yeah.
When you go to the county jail and you walk in a court tank and it's 50 of your enemies, you still gonna say this 60.
Yeah.
Or you not a gangbanger.
Like Wayne.
All right. So I got a question for y'all, man. And regarding respecting gangsters, who do you think deserves more respect, fake or real ones? Go ahead, T.
I think it's obvious. I speak for everybody in here.
Don't speak for me. I don't know what you're gonna say. Yeah, don't speak for me.
Yeah, you're right. Respecting gangsters, fake ones or real ones? I would say both, man, because I would say the fake ones is just as dangerous as the real ones, because the fake ones are going to have to try to have something to prove to become a quote unquote real one. So if I was to choose, I would say respect the fake ones more than the real ones, just based on what I just said just now.
And you saying because they probably more realer than the ones that...
No. They're more eager to prove themselves that they are quote unquote real ones. So you got to watch out for them dudes right there.
So you say you respect them because they probably really will do something to you.
Yes, but without thinking, without hesitation, without rhyme or reason, man. At least the real ones got more experience and know when to pull and when to tuck. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So, in my experience in life, you got to watch out for the ones that's really just getting into the game or trying to make a name for themselves. Those are the most dangerous ones. Yeah.
All right. So it sounds like what you're saying is you have more respect for the fake ones because they're more dangerous.
That's right.
Oh, okay. All right, man. Volker, you want to speak to that?
Let's just use 6ix9ine for example, right? We already know he was a fake one, right? But what was dangerous about that dude, man, was he had diarrhea at the mouth, right? He was the type of person that probably hang with some gang activities, be involved with gang activities, and behind the scenes talking to the FBI. As we already know what happened at the end of that saga, right? So in general, when it comes to these guys that want to be down, you really got to be real cautious if you're in a gang, inviting people into the world of gang life.
Wow. So wait a minute. Let me make sure. You saying you have more respect than 6ix9ine than the gangsters in the street? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, man. You see what happened to the real gang members that was involved with that dude.
Wow.
And where is he at now?
Wow. Okay.
You got to respect that nigga, man, because he will get you toe up in the game, man. Set up.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. Got to.
All right. Let's move along. Let's go ahead. Vulcan.
Yes, sir.
The question. Regarding respecting gangsters, who do you think deserve more respect, fake or real ones?
I have to agree with T on this one right here. I'm gonna go with the fake ones should get more respect.
Man, so you with 6ix9ine too? You respect him more?
Well, I would consider 6ix9ine a real gangster. I wouldn't consider him a fake gangster. But so he wouldn't get my respect either.
Hold on, man. Vulcan, you just talking right now. You dead ass?
It don't make no sense, cuz.
Vulcan, why you
make
playing
no
right now? You
sense.
playing, Vulcan?
Yeah, that ain't make no sense. How can you respect the imitation? That don't even make no sense.
You talking about fake ones?
Yeah, like, how you respect the imitation?
All right, see. Yeah, you from Philly, right?
Yeah.
What's the most popular gang in Philly?
The Zoo Gang.
Don't snitch.
The Zoo Gang. All right.
Yeah,
Now,
Zoo
they
Gang.
get them at a young age, right?
Yeah.
Start off. Now, do you respect would you respect the young ones trying to come into the zoos, whatever you said, or versus the ones
Mm-hmm.
that's 40-something years old? Do you agree that the ones that's young and eager to get into that life, they more dangerous than the ones that's older?
Absolutely.
All right, hold
You
Absolutely.
on,
should
hold on.
Do we
respect
$100%.
them.
do we consider
Absolutely.
them fake
Hold on,
gangsters though? Or we
Absolutely.
consider
No,
them new gangsters?
hold
Fake and
on,
no,
new
that's
two
Listen,
different things.
no.
hold on, hold on,
where I'm from,
everybody.
man, where I'm
Hold on,
from,
everybody. Hold on, see. We didn't get a chance to let Vulcan define why he thinks 6ix9ine is a real gangster versus the other gangsters. Go ahead and define that for the panel, or explain
Well,
why you think
I wouldn't say the 6ix9ine's a gangster versus other gangsters. I would just say that 6ix9ine's a real gangster because a gangster is. I would accept two different definitions of gangster. Gangster is somebody who's in a gang, or a gangster is a violent ruffian. So I would
a
accept both of
ruffian.
those.
What the
Yeah,
hell's a ruffian?
somebody who's violent, a person who
A
gets what they want to
ruffian.
get accomplished through the coercion of violence. Maybe not even violence, but typically through violence. So
Oh,
that's what I would. So that's how I would describe a gangster. Tekashi 6ix9ine, from what we've heard, was calling shots, paying gangsters to do different things like that. He was repping a gang. He identified with the gang. So to me, that makes him a gangster.
All right, so
all right.
T, hold on, T. I'm gonna see what you think about his statement, and I want T to go behind him, and
Well,
then
let me say this right here, just to kind of close it out in 10 seconds or less. If you have a guy, we'll say a skinhead who's claiming to be KKK, repping the KKK, giving money to the KKK. In my mind, he's KKK. Please continue, gentlemen.
all right.
All right, see, it's on you.
what's the responding to his statement or just the overall question?
Yeah, to
Nah,
respond to what Vulcan
me and
said.
you was talking about. As far as
Say it
new
again.
gangsters, as far as what me and you was talking about, as far as new young gangsters, are they considered fake ones?
No, that's not what I'm asking. See, hold on, T, hold on. I want y'all to respond to what Vulcan said.
Oh, my bad,
About
bro. My bad.
Yeah, and then when
ab-
C answered, then I want you to respond to that, and then we're gonna go with Unc after you, T.
All right, my
about what
bad.
about 6ix9ine being a real gangster?
Yes.
No, that wasn't the question. I just threw that in there. The question was, do you respect fake gangsters more than real ones?
No,
I can't.
that's not what I'm asking them, T. Hold on, T.
Okay.
Just hold on for a minute. I want everybody on this panel, to respond to what Vulcan just said. Then we get to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what
yeah.
I'm saying. That's what we're
As
talking about now.
as far as 6ix9ine, I can't consider him a gangster. I mean, I understand what you're saying about somebody who uses coercion or force to go ahead and get what they want, but most of the gangsters I know, they're not really physical people. They don't use a lot of force. And so would you consider a professional fighter? Is he a gangster? Like, nah, like that's somebody that doing something for a job. 6ix9ine he was a rapper and stuff like that's his job. He's not a gangster. You know what I mean? Because again, when the repercussions of being a gangster was in front of his face, what did he do? You know what I mean? So it's like I can't consider 6ix9ine no gangster and nothing like that. That's all a show. A lot of that stuff was made up. A lot of that stuff is publicity stunts. That's not a gangster. You know what I mean? Tukey Williams, that's a gangster. You know what I mean? Somebody like that, you can't compare 6ix9ine to somebody like Tukey Williams. Like, nah, you can't respect their imitation. Why would they? How can you put respect or on something that's fake? Can't do it. Can't do it. Why do you think people spend more money on designer clothes and Louis? You know what I mean? It's the same analogy. When you can't put the same kind of respect, the same kind of merit on something that's an imitation. Point blank.
People spend a lot of money on Louis and everything to make it seem like there's something they're not.
I understand that, but I think you maybe misunderstood what I was trying to say. It's the reason why Louis Vuitton can charge more money. They have a better brand and stuff like that. It's the reason why you spend more money on that item. You're not going to spend $1,000 on something you got from the thrift shop on the same bag. It doesn't make sense. You can't put the same kind of merit and respect on something that's an imitation.
Yeah, but like he said, Tukey probably called shots and 6ix9ine is calling shots. As far as gang activities, the activities he was doing, you can consider him gangster. The FBI thought he was a gangster. He had an affiliation. He was doing gangster stuff. All right, T, what's your thoughts on that? What Vulcan just said?
I would say I 100% disagree with Vulcan. I'm sticking to what I'm saying as far as respecting fake gangsters because they got a lot more to prove to the world or to their fellow gang members that they, quote unquote, one of them, a part of them. And they would do anything in their power to actually prove that to them. That's why I think they're more dangerous than a real one.
Mhm.
They more of a action than thinkers. The real OG, real gangsters, they more thinkers. They call the shots, see what's reasonable or not, which is, a smart thing to do. But the fake ones, they extra, man. Like these light skinned niggas I knew growing up in my life. Just the extra. No shade, see. You know what I'm trying to say.
I'm just saying, listen, to
but
counteract that, some of the most dangerous people I ever met in my life was light skinned or white. So it's like,
Yeah,
you can't judge
they
a
was
book by
extra.
its cover.
They was doing unnecessary things in life too, wasn't they?
Some of them, I mean, I can't speak for your experience. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody, you want to add anything,
Yeah, man. I think first things first, I do agree with Vogan's definition of gangster. In that sense, I would love to clarify if we're talking about gangsters or gang bangers. I think even colloquially, those two things are different entities as far as how society perceives them. We've heard a lot of respect put on gangsters who have, they take the time, right? They consider certain things. I think we are referring in this question more along the lines of gang bangers, thugs, people who spaz out. I would not consider 6ix9ine a gangster. I would consider 6ix9ine a gang banger. He banged the gang. In that sense, I do consider him a gang banger. But I don't respect a fake anything. In the terms of if you're trying to pass yourself off as something that you're not. So to Vulcan's point, 6ix9ine did everything that a gangbanger would do. So he is a gangbanger. And to T's point, he was more referring to new gangbangers. I don't consider them fake gangbangers either. They are more dangerous because they have more to prove, but those are not fake gangbangers. They're new gangbangers. Those are prospect gangbangers. But fake gangbangers, fake gangsters, those are people who are presenting themselves as something that they are not. They don't have the actions to match that. They only have the appearance. So I'm thinking of a fake gangbanger as somebody who might throw the rag in their pocket or rep the colors or use the terminology, what's up, blood, what's up, cuz, those types of things, but are not active or affiliated in any official way as far as the gang culture respects. So when we're talking about that, I consider those fake gangbangers, and I don't respect fake anything. I don't, in terms of
them
that.
same fake ones you talking about will have your ass wherever, right? With a pistol to the back of your head like Pinky on next Friday, man.
That's gangster activity, though. That's gangbanger
That-
activity.
that's
They're not
an
fake at
activity of
that
a
point.
fake gangster also.
But why is that fake? He's doing things that gangbangers do.
What I'm saying is,
hold on, we got comments,
he's
y'all.
taking
Help the Bear says ain't nothing more dangerous than a light skinned dude hanging with hella dark skinned dudes in the suburbs.
Hey, y'all stop retelling Dave Chappelle joke, man. All right, stop doing that.
Another
Get that man
comment
his
for him.
credit, man. It ain't no telling what that man to do to get them black guys respect, man.
That's what I'm saying. Stop with all the light skin slander, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. Yeah.
Help the Bear says 6ix9ine got those boys out the paint.
Yeah, man. Them light skinned dudes, man. It ain't no telling how dirty they black Air Force Ones is, man.
I'm trying to tell you.
Them joints might be hella scuffed up.
I'm trying to tell you.
Hey,
all right,
that's why
another
we got the
comment.
black Air Force Ones, man.
Yeah.
Dark skin nigga, dark skin pride. Let's go.
Hilarious. Help the Bear said, I think we should show everyone respect. As long as they respect you, I think being real or fake gangster only matters if you're a gangster. And if either disrespects you, call the police. Hey, I pay taxes. I don't mind calling the police. All right, so let's go. You got anything y'all want to add before we move on?
I think that's it, my bro.
All right, let's let's go ahead. What's your perspective on this? Showing up on the screen?
Yeah.
All right.
Good old Chucky Blanco.
This was at the front of my mind. Me and you as grown men and as adults, when we say, hey, y'all, let's do this, and we all agree to do something together, our first barrier is our ideology. Our first barrier to us doing something together is, man, when you Christian, I'm Muslim. You like the Chiefs, I like the Cowboys. So somewhere throughout our building, we got a barrier that we're going to use that's going to stop us from building. So once I started...
All right.
That's a crazy cutoff.
We got to work with that? Okay.
Hold on.
I mean, we can work with that if you want.
Nipsey situation, because a lot of people were upset and in arms about.
Nah, hold on, y'all. Something just happened. All right, y'all say y'all could work with that. I gotta do something. Hey, I messed up on this video.
All right, if y'all, I know maybe y'all heard or seen that show he did with Cam Newton, right? He's telling his background of his childhood, right?
Yep.
Now, this kind of like segues into the fake gangster and real gangster topic that we just had. Based on, if I can remember correctly, he said he was in a vehicle with three other people, right? Young black boys. They were still in a vehicle out of a shopping mall, if I'm not mistaken. He told one of the guys to shoot the white man that was trying to stop him from stealing the vehicle, right? Now, fast forward to now, to this day, he made maybe mention of the family, the victim that was murdered, which he did not kill, by the way. Said him by name, first name and last name, but he did not remember or even talk about by name the individuals that was him that committed that crime. I just found that interesting that he can remember a white person that got murdered by the hands of one of his quote unquote friends in a vehicle, but he cannot remember the name of the person who pulled that trigger.
All right, I got everything up.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
All right, I got the video up. All right, here we go.
Nigga, you sell dope and I don't, and you got dope on you. And it's a question of who dope this is. I'm willing to say that's his dope to be here for this baby. I want it to be better, homie. So in order to be better, if we're in a situation, homie, we got to get this shit straight.
But you be saying the police ass shit.
Well, I'm a citizen now, so I'm a police ass nigga. See, now I'm grown, I'm 40. I can't see being in jail at 50 for nothing. No, man, I tell on everybody not to go to jail right now.
Are you serious?
Man, I'm 44 years old. They don't let niggas out no more soon. When niggas go to jail now, you come home later. No, man. Yeah, I tell on anybody get out.
So your logic behind quote unquote setting the record straight is that you don't want to be in jail at 50.
I ain't gonna be. If we riding in the
see, that's what I'm talking about right there, man. Why you want to be quote unquote around real, I ain't gonna say gangsters, but people that's about that life. Then when some shit pop off, you want to be singing, right? Like Alicia Keys. Stay away from that crowd. Stay away from that environment. That's exactly what the hell I was talking about as far as the segue we just discussed. It's shit like that, man. He'd rather hang with them, pop bottles, smoke weed, do illegal things. But when the police or investigators come around, he want to start telling. The only reason you be telling if you involved or around some stuff that you ain't supposed to be around. That's what I'm talking about right there.
All right, so you disagree with him telling like that?
That's right.
Well, really, in general, just somebody that's in the, like, I guess what you're trying to say is, I'm not saying what you're trying to say.
He just said if somebody has some dope and he around, he gonna tell. What you around somebody with dope for? Unless you getting high with him. If he that old at 40, he should be able to gauge who the individuals he hanging with before he get in a situation where you have to tell, man. If he say he that age, if he that old, you understand?
Yeah. What about the
This nigga
principal?
stop
Can I
playing.
What if you're 20 years old? Say the rule still applies?
Absolutely. You gotta learn.
Okay. I think
You
one
gotta
of
learn the G code.
I think his point he's trying to convey is like people that actually had the dope that's on them. They don't tell the police that is they dope. Everybody has to go to jail. I think it's that's one of
He
the
did
points.
not say that. Don't put words in his mouth. He did not say that.
He did say that.
He said he gonna tell the police that's your dope.
Because they're not gonna say anything. That's the impression I got.
Okay.
What you think,
Can you frame a question? What I want to know what I'm responding to because he said a lot. What do we?
Yeah.
Frame a question for me so I can respond to it.
We can I say it like this. Hold on. Oh, what's going on? Yeah, I ask y'all this then. What's y'all thoughts on snitching? Let's just dive into that. What's your thoughts on snitching, and do you think snitching is a negative thing for the community?
I think snitching is only a rule that has to be adhered to by a certain subsect of the population. I'm a citizen. There's no such thing as snitching for me. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Any telling that I do, quote unquote telling, any reporting, calling the cops I do, cannot be considered snitching because I'm not in the subsect of street culture. And just for me, I define snitching by the old school definition as if you a criminal and I'm a criminal, we do crime together. And I tell on my crimey, I tell on my co-conspirator to lessen my sentence or to get out of my sentence. That's snitching.
That's exactly
somebody
what he
who
said.
lives in the neighborhood, who's not involved in the street life, in the gang culture, who sells what they saw. That's a law-abiding citizen reporting crime to the police like they have the right to do.
That's right. I agree, and that's exactly what Charleston White said he'll do.
So you're saying it's a positive thing, positive for the community, right? As long as you're not a gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
All right.
What's your thoughts, C?
I guess, but this is, yeah. Go ahead, C.
I mean, I don't agree with no kind of snitching. Anyway,
define snitching, though, C. What's your definition of snitching? Ratting, telling, whatever the case may be.
Well, just like you said, if you're fighting the case with somebody, for sure. I don't know. I mean, how I was raised, we don't go to the police about anything. As far as snitching is like, whenever you give information to police that incarcerate somebody, I snitching. Now, to agree with the brother that said something earlier, you shouldn't be riding around with nobody that got dope. If you don't live that life, you don't need to be around nobody that got that at all. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, the first time I got locked up, I was in a situation where it was a gun in the car and nobody said nothing. So it took all of us to jail. You know what I mean? After like 22 days or something like that, they let us out because they can't charge everybody with the gun. But I don't
that's
agree with
real.
this
Man.
one.
He's riding with some real thorough dudes then, man.
Yeah, I mean, again, where we from, if you snitch, it's like the worst thing you could do. You know what I mean? All my uncles in jail because people snitched on my grandfather in jail. My father went to jail, and so it's like where we from, we just don't do that. But I have to agree with the brother that said something. If you're a civilian, and you're not a street dude, and you don't come from none of that and nothing like that, then those same kind of rules don't fall under you. You know what I'm saying?
But if the same rules don't follow you, then if you don't follow those same rules, you got to think if it's best for the community where T and Ruckus agree to, then it's bad for the street guys. Then it can't
I
be
mean,
good for the community and good for the street guys.
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But the minute you decide to start riding around with somebody that you know that's affiliated with the streets, any repercussion that come with that, you got to be open to accept it. If you ride around with
Facts.
somebody that's living like that, and y'all get pulled over, you got to keep your mouth shut because you riding around with that. You being associated with that person. You're not
Yeah,
dumb. You know what he do. You know what he get into.
yeah, I get that point. Hey, bro, you got something you want to, bro?
Damn,
Him.
Brohan, where you been at, man?
Oh man, hey man.
This topic right here up your alley, man. What up?
What's your thoughts on snitching? And then after that, do you think it's a positive or a negative thing for the community?
I kind of, I mean, I basically agree more with, well, I mean, I agree with basically everybody that spoke. I mean, yeah, like if you're a civilian, then it's not snitching if you involving yourself in street activities or around them. Then you know you kind of got to roll with the punches. But I do feel like if you should take your charge like a man, though, to a certain degree, you know. Um, that's all I really got. And is it positive or negative? Yeah, it's not. It's definitely a negative for civilians and a positive for street people, obviously.
Wait, what? Snitching is
Nah, he
positive
said
for the
it backwards. It's
street
cool.
folks.
No, snitching is a negative for
Oh,
street dudes and a
gotcha.
positive for civilians. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah. So the community, we're all on agreement that the community is filled with mainly civilians. So that's why it's a positive.
You say that again?
I said we all in agreement. I guess the community is filled with more civilians than gangsters, so that's why it's a positive for the community.
Oh, you mean the community as a whole or community individuals?
No, as a whole, black community as a whole.
Oh yeah, I think it's positive for the community.
Yeah.
Get them out of here. if you're a detriment to the community, I care about the community. I'm gonna do what it takes to exclude you from the community. I need you out of here. Go do your own thing somewhere else.
What do you say that people would argue and say that the community is governed by street rules, though?
Okay.
They abide by the same rules as the street, the community.
I don't think that exists, man.
Well, I'm going by what certain testimonies I hear from the police. They said when something's going on in the neighborhood, murder or anything, they go in those neighborhoods, and the community don't want to cooperate with the police because they believe in that no snitching rule, the same rules that the streets abide by. That's why a lot of murders don't get solved in those communities.
Do they believe
that's because they live in a hood.
You think that's from fear, or you think that's from respect and honor?
I'm not saying that. The question is are these communities governed by street rules?
Yeah, they governed by fear. It ain't respect.
I'm just emphasizing the street rules, though.
Yeah. They governed by fear.
They're not governed by the street rules. They're governed by fear of violence and retaliation. That's those two different things. They're not following those street rules by choice.
Not necessarily, because even some of the
it's
people
not choice. They don't have a choice to cooperate.
Listen, where I'm from, or even
hold
in
on, I'm gonna get you in there, see. But Charleston White is advocating people to start telling more. He said you do have a choice. He's saying you do have a choice.
It's not aligned with the culture. Even older grandmothers that's outside, just sitting outside and stuff like that, they still believe in that same mentality of not snitching, nothing like that, and they're not involved in no street any kind of street criminal activity. I think it's just ingratiated within the culture, not to snitch. Street rules is ingratiated in the culture.
Well,
let me ask you something, see.
Don't
let me ask you
snitch,
something, see.
though. Hold on. If you don't snitch,
bro.
Technically you are a part of the street culture. You kind of you're like as good as being a gangbanger.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
See, let me ask you something, man.
Yes, sir.
Them elderlies you was talking about that still live by that same code.
Yeah.
Right?
You think elderlies?
Elders. I'm sorry.
Oh, the elderly
that live by that, right?
Right.
Is it safe to say that they probably got some goons in the tuck that can handle something if something pop off on their property?
I would say that because I'm sure they got a grandson or a nephew or
Right.
somebody that.
So let's just say an elderly person don't have a goon or somebody that can handle some street justice for them. Do you think it's safe to say they could probably call the police because they don't have a street dude in their family that can handle something that happened to them?
I wouldn't say that still because just
Okay.
based off of my experience, I've seen situations where you know what I mean. They don't have nobody to call, and it's just not within the culture. It's looked at as
Okay.
not cool or not respectable. Or street the gangs and all that. It's all within the culture. It's ingratiated within the culture, whether you in it or not. The way we
All right.
talk, the way we move, the way we act.
So Kanye was right. Slavery was a choice.
I wouldn't say that. I
Well,
definitely wouldn't say that.
well, I mean, I'm just saying because you could snitch, right? Or I mean, you could face the repercussions of possibly dying. I mean, that's kind of what you could be a
Yeah,
slave,
but
or
I
you could
think we
die.
can. I think we can all agree that slavery was worse than death, and they had a lot of stuff that was going on back then that was worse than death. And I don't know. I mean, it takes a courageous person to really stand up and face death. A lot of people not like that.
Well, no, and you're
It's a lot
right.
of open
I
times out
don't
here.
disagree with that, but I'm just saying they do have a choice, though. It's a choice. That's all I'm saying. Whether it's death
Everybody
or
got a
not,
choice.
You said they so Brian, you saying
Everybody got
you
a
saying
choice.
Broham is saying something different from C, Unc, and T that they actually do have a choice. To the certain degree, they are being governed and choosing to be governed by the streets. That's what you're saying, Brian. For them
yeah,
not
facts.
cooperating, okay.
Yeah, you're just as a gangster as the dude pulling the trigger or whatever they doing, robbing, whatever.
Unc, what you got to say to that, Unc?
Oh yeah, I don't agree with that at all. I think if you are so when you say they're following street rules by choice, I don't I don't
Well,
I don't agree with that. I
keep
think
in mind.
no, they do have a choice. But their choice is more like follow this street rule
Or else.
die or risk violence against you and your family.
Yeah.
But we all agree. Y'all
so-
all agree that it's best for them to cooperate to snitch. That's best for the community, and they're not doing that. We're not doing that.
If you look at what Charleston, if you notice maybe like the state of the culture, but you're having more poetic Flacos, more DJ academics, dudes that are combating real street dudes. They're like, look,
They're
not
not
only
embraced by
will
the
I,
youth. They're not
not
embraced by the youth.
Hold on,
you
see,
said
you
what now?
saying DJ Academics not embraced by the youth?
They not.
Nah,
No, but
that
no,
man
but
hold on,
definitely embraced by you. He
Brian,
ain't
what you
embraced
got
by
to say?
you.
let me let it
Go ahead.
land though.
All right,
What
let bro
I'm saying,
speak. Hold on, let bro speak.
well,
Finish.
what I'm saying is that's why I said Chief Keef earlier in the conversation because of kind of how like all the music was. It kind of correlates with what C said. Like you kind of gotta have a body if you're gonna be a rapper now. But I'm saying it's a lot of dudes combating the streets with like, well, not only will I defend myself, whether it's with the gun in my hands or whatever, but I will also call the police on you and I won't allow you to disrespect me. And I think that's kind of pushing, being a force that's pushing against the so-called gangster guys today, so, which is kind of a good thing. Like, it can be taken overboard with a Charleston White a little bit though. So I don't know.
Yeah, but what they got to do with the youth though, like you said earlier, bro?
No, C said they not respect. DJ Academics not respected by the youth. And
DJ Academics in the black culture is not just because he has a large following and a lot of people can see him and he has exposure doesn't mean he's embraced or respected by but he's not. He's not. Trust me, 100%.
What you got to say to that,
Nobody want to hear that.
I mean, I'm looking at the man followers, man. I'm looking at who interacting with that dude online, man.
I'm looking online and
he
I'm
got
seeing
5.3
things.
million. He
Hey,
got
put that
5.3
phone up on the
million
screen again, huh? Oh,
don't worry
followers,
about
and
that.
that's
I'll
just
put
on
it up.
IG.
I
I don't
got
even
y'all.
know what he got on his like Twitch stream and all that stuff. It's
Right.
hard for me to look at millions of followers and say he's not embraced by
He's
the
not.
youth, because I know it ain't full grown men following that dude.
I mean, you gotta understand, DJ Academic's been around for some time now. He's been around for about 6-7 years. He definitely started a lot of violence in Chicago during the beefs and stuff like that, spicing it up. DJ Academics has been around for a while. Just because somebody has exposure and a lot of followers, I mean, you could buy followers nowadays. Anybody can be famous in these times. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that he's embraced by the streets. Trust me. The young guys and the people that's my age and the generation below, they don't look up to Academics. They think he a clown. If we being honest.
Hey, can I say something right quick?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, T.
By C being the youngest of this panel, man, I think we really got to take his word valid, man. Like for real.
I'm being.
If he says that and we ain't his age, he pretty much sound like he got his ear to the street. So we gotta take his word like it means something, man.
I'm pretty sure though, for every street dude, there's probably a lot of guys that look like us that's not in the streets either.
Is any one of y'all subscribed to Academics?
For sure.
You are?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Are you serious?
I'm not.
I'm dead ass.
Hold on, let's ask everybody around the room. You subscribe?
I'm gonna say no right now. No.
All right, T said no. T said no. No. C no. Bro him said yeah. Let me get Vulcan in.
Hey, I'm not even following none of y'all on the internet.
Oh, like on Instagram
you on mute,
or
Vulcan?
something? I'm definitely not. No.
Your audio is on mute, Vulcan.
So you went out of.
I'm not subscribed to. I mean, I listen to some of his stuff, but I'm not subscribed to any of his platforms or anything.
Right.
I don't get any notifications when he comes online. Put it like that.
Oh no, I don't get none of those.
Everybody knows who he is. Don't nobody listen to him. Exactly what I said.
But we're all old.
Right.
And as the youngest guy out of this panel right here, the one that's outside, I'm actually in these clubs, I'm ministry, I'm on all of that. Nobody respect Academics. Nobody looks up to Academics.
So you talking about what you talking about is street dudes. You talk about the street culture.
That's
you
said
the youth is
in the
very
street culture, and I have a little brother that's not in the streets at all. And he's in the generation below us, the 19-year-olds, the 18-year-olds, the little weird stuff that's going on right now. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Even him.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Can I say something? I mean, look at this dude. My man got the chain down to his nuts. He got the white socks. He got the all black tee on like Gucci, man. You can't respect this nigga, man.
Can't respect me. I done did a lot of things out here to earn respect, bro. You said say it again?
I said put some respect on your name.
I'll put some respect. I'm trying to listen, man. It's not even just based off of me personally. Like, forget the individual.
He got the rapper starter pack, man. Put some respect on this nigga, man.
All right, let's reel that in. Let's reel it in.
Honestly, none of the young guys. They know.
If he say the young niggas ain't fucking with Academics, you gotta believe him, man.
We know who he is. Nobody listens to him.
That man got 5.3 million followers on just IG alone, man.
We know who he is.
You saying the youth? That's inclusive. So what you got to narrow it down to the subsect of like.
Are we talking about the black community or everybody else? Because I only care about the youth, we talking about the black community.
You said the
youth. About the black community, right? If we talking about the black community alone,
my man about to hit the corner right now. Look at him, man. You got to take his word, bro.
That man.
Yo, wow.
All right, man. Let's get right.
Man.
All right, bro. Him. C said the youth ain't mess with him. You saying you think they do? Said they don't.
What I'm saying is, I think they're going to usher in a new wave of dudes that's going to combat the whole street politics, and I think Charleston White
even like J. Cole, man.
I even think I think even though I don't agree with some the ways Charleston White goes about some things, I think he's kind of probably like the one of the leaders of that kind of pop that off. Like I'm gonna pop my shit, stand my ground like a grown man, but I will call the police on your ass. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is.
All right, y'all. That's
I
think the youth is messing with them because that's just for them to have them subscribers. I don't think that's a lot of, like I said, grown people. I doubt that's a lot of people from other cultures. I think that's mostly black dudes, black people that probably could relate to them too. Guys that grew up maybe in the servers, the gamers. A lot of those type of guys probably really mess with them. So that's just
Do you think there are more regular people, or what people would consider lames, than cool guys out there?
Everybody want to be a cool guy, so it's getting hard to tell. Everybody want to be a cool guy.
I think I think we're in more of a time where you can be whatever, you can be cool in whatever lane you want to be in now.
Cool looks a lot of different ways these days.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in middle school, man. If you liked anime, you was a dub. You was outcast. But
Right.
anime, bro, anime niggas moving the culture now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to ask.
Cool look a little different these days.
Well, let me ask y'all this then. I said, oh, wait a minute, that's the wrong one. Yeah, I just want to ask, what you think about the black community focus on eliminating gangs? Do you think it's a priority?
No,
No,
not at all.
All right, so we C said no. Unc said no. Let me get T.
No.
And let me get Bro.
Definitely not.
All right, man. Start with Vulcan. Vulcan on.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Vulcan. Kick it off.
For me, it's do you think it's a priority? No, it's not a priority in our community.
There's two questions. What do you think about the black community focus on eliminating gangs? And do you think it's a priority? I don't know if I'm pretty sure I get that from all y'all, but I know all y'all said no as far as being a priority. And you said, Vulcan, you said no too, or yes?
I said no to. Do you think it's a priority? No.
Okay. All right, let's start with you and work our way back up. Do you think the community should focus on eliminating the gangs?
Yes.
All right, Broham.
Yes.
C.
I'm gonna say no.
All right, we're gonna come back to get your explanation. T.
No.
Indubitably.
All right, so we got 3 yeses and 2 nos. Start off with Vulcan. Why you saying yes?
I'm saying yes because gangs are bad. Gangs are domestic terrorists. They're lawless. They're the least educated amongst us. So we got the dumbest people giving them power in our community. They're the least educated. They're the least educated. They come from the worst family structures. No men in the house.
Oh, man, this dude's
They're raised by women. They're raised by
He just
women.
got done eating a snack, man. What were you doing, man?
Hold on, T. Let him cook.
All right, my bad.
You going after him because I want people. I want to get the ones that disagree. So you
This
going
is a safe place.
Go ahead, Vulcan.
So yeah, so again, in short, if I bullet point it, they're the least.
My bad, man. My bad. Go ahead. My bad. I'll mute up, man. My bad.
Nah, it's good because
still here.
I love the laughter
Like
because
a bag of Doritos earlier, man. What you doing, man?
Focus, guys. Focus, man.
All right, my bad. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Folks like doing a roll when I throw clips. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I think that in bullet point fashion, I'll say this: that they're the most poorly educated. They're the least intelligent, academically, IQ wise, whatever you want to say. They come from the worst family structures, so they're raised by women, not by men. So they're the most emotional and the least stable. Third thing, they dedicated themselves to an organization that only wants to exploit them and use them for gain, going against what their parents and the broader community wants them to do. So I think for those 3 reasons right there, we need to eliminate them.
All right, hold on. Repeat those 3 points again for the folks out there. Repeat it one more time.
Repeat them. He just said it for the folks. Everyone was listening.
Do it again.
I don't think he can.
Again,
I don't think you can do it, Vulcan.
bro, that was off the head. This man said,
He's
"Do it
right.
again." That's
I thought
crazy.
I said it like 4 times. Okay,
You
cool.
not only you said do it again, you said do it again right after he said it. That's crazy. Immediately, you didn't even wait
Oh
5
man.
minutes.
He said 5 minutes. He definitely would have forgotten there. All right. Hey, everybody tell y'all remember his 3 points?
Nah.
That's why I'm doing it, because I'm gonna ask all y'all about
He
his
said they're
3
the
points.
least educated.
He said
Let's
he's
see if you can
dumb.
do it. We see if
He
can
said
do
they
it.
lawless and wild.
The lawless and wild,
You said.
and they only
Yeah.
and the only reason they only utilize their members to exploit them for gain.
Nah, he said
So yeah.
motion.
So yeah. So okay. So yeah. Least educated. They're dumb. I don't mean every single individual member, but collectively they're dumb.
As a group.
Number 2, they come from the worst environment. No male, all female environment. So everything that goes along with that is the case. And then they're very disorganized, like a real Rick Ross said. The black gangs are very disorganized. We're talking about black gangs specifically. They're very disorganized. And to add on to that point, the people at the top, just like corporations do, and even certain cult religious groups do, the people at the top that are very organized exploit the ones in the bottom who are not very well educated, that don't have the good family structure. They exploit them so they can accomplish their goals for them.
That's America.
All right, go
Facts.
ahead, T. Bogus Gabe right here. Agree? What you got to say to that?
What'd you say?
What you say?
I said Vulcan gave the reason why he agrees that this should be. Remember, the question was,
Yeah.
should we? What do we think about the black community focus on eliminating gangs? C said no. T said no. So I want them to.
Yeah, I want to hear C's take on it.
Yeah, but T and C both disagreed.
Okay.
I
go
want
ahead,
T
C.
to go first. Oh, all right. You hand it to C? T?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, C.
Well, essentially, if you look at it, I think your whole perception on gangs is like is different. You got to remember at one point, Black Panthers was considered a gang. I think it's going to be almost impossible to eliminate gangs in general. It'd be a waste of time.
Hold on, real quick. I want to say whether or not it's possible or not. We're asking whether you think they should.
If they should, yeah, absolutely. But it's not going to happen. So the more realistic point of view, or the more realistic thing to do, is to go ahead and try to restructure the gangs. Because initially, most of these gangs, the black gangs, they were to uplift the community, to improve the community. You know what I mean? So if there's a way to reconstruct that, so that way it looks like what it used to be, then that'd be the most optimal situation. But
yeah, you got to get rid of drugs for that.
Yeah, and that's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at a realistic thing that could actually happen. Maybe you could restructure the gangs, and so just put it in the point where everything's a little bit more organized.
To his point, I agree that it's gonna be almost impossible to eliminate gangs, or to be honest with you, or even restructure them. But
that's why I said, what do you think
eliminate them? Yes.
But that's why the question is, what do you think about the black community's focus on eliminating gangs? The focus part.
I don't think it's a focus at all.
You clarified that question when we answered it do you think we should get rid of gangs?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big question what you have on the screen. I thought you clarified it to do you think we should? That was why everyone's answer was a yes or no answer. Because what do you think about the black community's focus on eliminating gangs? It's not a yes or no. It doesn't require a yes or no answer. So to the question that you asked, yes.
Yeah, I believe they should be eliminated as well. I just think it's almost impossible to do it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, because
especially when you consider gang violence exists to a certain extent because of drugs, and drugs were placed into the community by the government. You know, the government ain't giving up that money, so
the reason why I think that when you think about ancestors, slavery, slaves that was in captivity in the 1600s, they wanted to get free. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people say that's not going to happen. Don't worry about it. It's a whole infrastructure. You're not going to be able to beat that.
I think that's
is that what we telling our communities? They don't even focus on eliminating gangs. Where this is one of the main causes why we're not progressing because of gangs.
No, slavery was not by choice. People were enslaved by force. These folks ain't joining gangs because they have to. They're not joining gangs because they were forced to. These are people making conscious choices.
Well, this not what I'm saying. I'm saying they focus on eliminating slavery.
Yeah, but the comparison is flawed because one thing is not the other thing. They don't compare.
It's two different circumstances and two different perspectives.
It's way different.
They had gangs since the beginning of the time.
You're talking about something that people considered morally wrong. The people who were in slavery considered it morally wrong, and then people outside considered it morally wrong. When you're talking about gangs, it's only one-sided. That's only a one-sided thing.
No, I'm saying the community is synonymous with the slave community. They don't want to be slaves anymore, so this is why they're fighting. The black community know that this is ruining their communities. They don't want to be governed by these street rules no more, so this should be a focus. I think the rules is still the same because they are governed. These communities are governed by a small percentage. These gangsters,
right? We all said yes to that. You know that, right? We all already.
You said it shouldn't be a focus, though. You said because it's not going to happen. That's why I brought up the slavery. Because if they would have just gave up, hold on, I just want to say this: if they would have gave up and said it's never going to happen, because it don't look like it was going to end in the 1600s or the 1500s, we might not have ever seen the end of slavery. I just don't think that's a. I don't think that's a. Message to say not to. It shouldn't be a focus.
I can say I will most likely never get $1 trillion. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying. I can do both things synonymously. I didn't say the black community should give up. I said, just like C said, we both think that we should focus on getting rid of gangs, but it's highly unlikely that it actually happens. That's not saying stop trying. It's saying it's a long shot at best.
I think it's more important things we should prioritize than just being in gangs.
I don't agree with that.
I agree. See,
I think it's top 3 at least.
Top 3 is arguable.
I think it's top 3 at least.
We have no kind of infrastructure or any kind of unity at all.
Let me ask the panel this then. Let me ask y'all this. Do y'all know what's the leading cause of death for black men?
I wouldn't say.
No, it's homicide.
You said gun violence is the leading
cause for black men from ages 14 to, like, according to the CDC, 14 to 39 or 40 or something like that.
I would have thought it was like high cholesterol.
Check up now. I see you.
I would have thought it was like hypertension and diabetes or something.
No, that comes later. That's second. That comes once you hit 40. Now we got to worry about heart issues and hypertension and all that. But for 15 to 40, and I think it's probably to say that a high percentage of that is gang violence. So to say this, we should focus on other things, and that's the leading cause of death, I think that's flawed.
I wouldn't say it's gang violence. I would say it's more of an impoverished community because there's not gangs in every state or every city. I think it's more of the impoverished community that's leading to these homicides. Whenever there's poverty, whenever there's, not a lot of opportunities around, there's going to be crime. It's been that way since the beginning of the time, regardless of race. We have no kind of infrastructure, no kind of unity. We have no economic background. We have no banks, no financial institutions. You know what I mean? Like that we own. We don't own anything.
Gangs are a microcosm of that, but they're also a microcosm that's working in direct opposition of that goal. Like Charleston White was saying.
Say it one more time, brother. I didn't hear you.
I was saying gangs are essentially a microcosm of what you're describing, but they're a microcosm that's actively working against the unity of the community. To Vulcan's point, what he said earlier is gangs thrive in chaos.
Of course.
If we as a black community get together and we band together and unify, gangs are a thing of the past because they can't thrive in unity and peace.
Well, see, I had a rebuttal. You could say that gangs thrive in chaos, but if you look at the majority of gangs globally, right? A lot of these get like the Armenian gang. The Armenian Mafia is a very organized gang. They don't
Yeah,
thrive
but we
off of
talk about
chaos.
black gangs, right?
What,
We talk about
that,
the black community.
we're
Armenian
talking about.
gangs have a hierarchy. They have lines they don't cross. They have rules and regulations
Right.
and standards,
So
which is why.
But
that goes
that's why
that
Volker
goes
said,
to my point. Yeah, that goes to my point of like if there was a way to reconstructure it to where it was more organized. You know what I mean? I think the chaos and the impoverished communities, that's what leads to the crime, in my opinion.
Yeah, but
well,
gangs
I'm not necessarily.
gangs
Hold on.
facilitate most of the
Let me just say
chaos
that
in the impoverished community, which helps keep it impoverished.
I'm not talking about the crime. I'm talking about the gang. When you have gangs, violence come with that. Homicides come with that.
Of course.
I'm saying to C and T, they say it shouldn't be a focus. But that's one of the leading cause of death. I mean, leading cause of death of the black men is homicides. When I'm saying if we're not going to focus on trying to eliminate gangs, that's one of the main reasons why our communities are not thriving. That's what I'm saying. And to say to that's what I'm saying to us to tell the people one of the main things that's holding us back to tell them is never going to happen. I just don't think that's a good message. It's contradicting. Let's focus on this, even though it's never going to happen. That's what I'm saying to
Well, see, that's my question. Is it the gangs or is it the impoverished communities? Is it the circumstance of our communities that's leading to that high crime rate? That's my question.
I
Or
mean,
is
it's
it
both.
Absolutely
I'm
not.
saying it's contributing. I'm saying if the homicide is the leading cause, I know gangs is contributing to that.
sure? Absolutely. We both
Definitely.
agree on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So to say, oh, it's never going to happen, I don't. That's the part I'm focused on. Let's focus
So
on it,
you
even
have a
though it's not
difference
going to
of
happen.
opinion. That's fine. I think it's never going to happen. I'm one
Okay.
person.
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying, but that's my opinion on the situation.
No doubt.
Now, if we want to have a different part on why, I think it would never happen. We can really get into some different threads of conversation on that.
It'll be a long shot for real. I'll say that. It'll be a long
Yeah,
shot.
because it's definitely circumstantial.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
All right, so okay, I guess I ain't gonna get my take.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
I got you. I'm just getting the video
Well,
next. You go ahead, T. You up next? I'm just trying to get the video next.
Okay. One thing I do agree with C was saying is bigger priorities that we need to focus on. Can you hear me, C?
Yes, sir.
All
Yeah.
right, word. And I would say one of the biggest focus we should prioritize is how you present yourself online. Now, my man, I don't know if you smoking a woolen, I don't know if you smoking dust, or if you got some sherm in there.
Right.
So that's probably not a good look to be online. You know what I mean? Blowing clouds and shit while we trying to have this little discussion. That's number one. Number two, the reason I say black people shouldn't have the priority or have the focus of that is because damn the outside, focus within your household, your brothers, sisters, cousins, aunties, and so on. And just play the long game, the slow burn. No shout to you, see. Just play the slow burn of creating something beautiful and letting it bloom like a seed you plant in the garden. Don't worry about the outside. You always want to focus within yourself, within your household, your zip code, and your address. And let the gangs be their gangs. Let the gang members be the ones who have tore up households, messed up structures growing up. Let them have their community when you have your community within your place where you lay your head at night. That's all I gotta say.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with a lot of the points you make. And you're right. Yeah, I'm definitely smoking weed, but how I present myself, I wear suits all day. I'm a young entrepreneur. I do a lot of business. My mind is scrambled. So when I
That's
get
dope.
home,
That's dope. You ain't got
and
to
at
get too, like I
10:30,
said, you don't have to
yeah,
get too much into your personal. We're trying
absolutely,
to focus on the topics, but I
absolutely.
just don't see how that's going to work, T. I just don't see how somebody could be they house inside of a community and outside their door is running wild. I don't see how that's going to work because you're still going to be affected by the people that's outside the house. So you can focus on the inside, focus on your family, but once you out that door, you in that world. You know what I'm saying?
That's the whole job of a parent, man, to prepare them to get the experience that you experience, because
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing new underneath the sun.
Mm-hmm.
What happened in our parents' days happening now. There's still gonna be shady niggas, backstabbing females, people at the work telling, snitching on you. It's all the same from the day of time. The goal is, as a person with experience, is to drop little breadcrumbs and have that child come to you for situations to get the questions answered instead of going out to the internet and listening to Charleston White on how to handle things. You should be their Charleston White if they ever have an issue in life. So in order to build that trust, you got to make it to where you like a homeboy or someone they can actually feel comfortable coming to you instead of a strict parent. Because a lot of strict parents, the good and bad thing about that is they will go outside the household to get questions answered and feel more comfortable talking to someone about issues they might have versus coming to their parents or elders.
Yeah. So to put more emphasis on how you parent. You got anything you want to add, Vulcan?
Damn, that's a first. Okay.
No, I didn't hear it. My bad. I'm on another screen. Said no?
He said no.
Right,
yeah,
cool.
no.
I think that can plague any community, but for some reason it hits ours the hardest.
Well, you're right. Look, the music highlights ours. The violence highlights ours. They beating and fucking on each other in silence. In silence. So they getting probation is not making the news.
Yeah.
What leads to numbers and so and then they shooting up the so they doing it in other ways, and it's not so consistent as ours.
Why do you think it sounds glamorous on a rap album? I'm on a rap song. I mean,
that goddamn beat.
Yeah.
Boy, that motherfucker beat. Baby mama ain't shit. She gonna let me see my son.
Yeah.
Man, just think about that. Baby mama ain't shit. Man, think about what a family. They might dance to it because the beat's so hard. And then it get to a point that said, I gave a bitch I took her back to the spot. She didn't even understand me. When I told her, what? What? Say, it was
Fujiano.
9 months went by. This is my favorite motherfucking song before I realized what that said. That motherfucking beat is captivating.
It does, man. Because I'll talk about a rapper and be like, man, this guy is messing up, or he did this or did that, right? But man, the music, man, I still rock with it, man. I don't know if that's being hypocritical or what. You know,
music is the greatest influence next to water. It's the greatest power next to water. You know how forceful water is? Once them come rushing, it'll destroy Earth.
Yeah, can destroy
Earth. Rap has that power. Russia has it banned. You can't play it over there because he said it will destroy. And what is it doing? It got a 50-year resume of destruction. It ain't produced no scholars.
Nah.
Don't give me no Jay-Z. Don't give me no.
I can't think of a scholar that came from hip hop. You know?
Don't give me no. Our babies can't see. Ali let the people see him. James Brown let the people see him. When it was a riot, James Brown gave a free concert. Hey, I go out there and talk to them niggas. Nah, homie. I entertain.
All right, I guess we're gonna give our take on this.
All right, yeah.
That's a great song, by the way. Fujiano.
Yeah, I'm back. For my hip hop historians, I know T had a good introduction. Saying you was born before, what you said, before hip hop or 8 years. I forgot what you said. Charleston White is saying that if you look at 50 years of hip hop, it got a resume of just destruction.
Well, he said he had a 50-year resume of destruction. That's 100% false.
All right.
Things didn't go left until I would say around, let's say 88. No, because NWA really wasn't trying to destroy this culture. They were just speaking about their experiences in their city. So I would say, I hate to say it, man, around the death row era, man. Because it was so bad that you had female rappers dressing like men, rapping like men, and trying to keep up that hardcore image like Onyx. You know what I'm saying? It was just disgusting how what's that group, man? Jermaine Dupri had, man.
Social Death, Crisscross.
Nah, the female group.
I don't know. SW. What's the Escape?
Escape, man. They was dressing like dudes, man, back in the day in their videos, man.
So you say you want to agree with the 50 years, but you agree what? You say like 30 years has been destructive?
I say about a good 30.
About 30?
Yeah.
What you got?
I mean, I agree. Hip hop got a 50-year record rap sheet of destruction. Now, what you could do is you can match that up if you want to with positive things that the hip hop community has done, but that's you choosing. That's not being an objective observer. I can look at a war and say this man murdered however many hundreds of people. These army murdered however many hundreds of people. If you align it with the overall cause and say, but he did good, he's a hero, and we just wipe off his resume of violence, that's not objective. So whatever positive stuff you want to say on hip hop has been violent damn near from the beginning, because it is a telling of the story. So even before hip hop, there was rampant violence in the Black community, the ghettos, the projects, whatever you want to call it. That's why you can pinpoint and say almost for certain that if the first rappers was just telling their story, then that story includes violence. That story includes street violence, drugs, all that stuff. So you may have the first rappers who were, you know, a hippity hop, but if you go even into those raps, they're talking about physical violence, like from the very beginning.
And talking about smoking crack. I remember when the first songs.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
You not being objective, T. I know you love hip hop. I love it too, but you can't say it ain't what it is.
What he said, he didn't say smoking crack. He said broken glass everywhere.
No, I ain't talking about. I'm not talking. I heard this on.
Flash, who you
no, I ain't talking about Grandmaster Flash, but we can deal with that. I want to make sure Unc got his whole point out his head.
Y'all never heard of Self-Destruction, Heavy D, Chubb Rock, Big Daddy Kane?
What are you talking about? All of those artists.
I thought Big Daddy Kane sold crack.
Violence.
I thought Big Daddy Kane sold crack.
He definitely did, and he told you about it.
Hold on. See, it sounds like it's a sparring session with Uncle T. I want them to hash this out.
No, that's fine. I don't remember Big Daddy Kane saying he sold crack. I don't remember Chubb Rock.
You said you was a student of the game, big dog. Come on now, man. It's in the music.
No, I didn't mean it like that. Like, I'm telling you, he didn't say he sold crack. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, don't worry. I got my Google machine in my pocket. I
Go
got
ahead. Go ahead.
All right. While Unc is Googling it, let's get Vulcan perspective.
Kid and Play wasn't saying
thoughts
that.
on the video.
That's hip hop.
Hold on, T. I said why Unc is Googling. We get Vulcan.
Kwame with all the polka dots wasn't saying that.
Go ahead, Vulcan. What's your thoughts?
Thanks. I'm so fly.
You muted, Vulcan. Hold on, T.
I was saying, C was saying something that you said you wanted them two to go at it. Do you want C to speak, or you want me to go ahead and go?
No, I said T and Unc was disagreeing about
researching right now. He being petty.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I think.
I didn't say nothing about C. I was talking about
actual,
and I was gonna get to C afterwards. I was talking about them going back and forth.
Yeah, I was just saying. I think C was saying something. You said, "Hold on, C. I want them two going at it. Let them finish going at it."
All right, good.
And so C got interrupted. I mean, I'll talk if you want me to talk. However you want to do it.
If I did say that, my bad. C, go ahead and say what you was gonna say while they was talking. Appreciate that, Bo.
Honestly, it's about perspective. I mean, when you're looking at hip hop, it's all based about what's cool. You know what I mean? What's going on. The music has always contained black people's music has always contained violence, drugs from the early '60s to '70s. So I mean, if you want to say hip hop has had a long run of just creating destruction and violence, then sure. But
Yeah,
I
50
mean,
years. He said 50 years of destruction.
50. I mean, I would say
Man,
it's
50
longer than
years
that.
is a reach, man.
Yeah, I would have to disagree. You know what I mean? Because again, in the '80s, when everybody was selling crack in New York, all the rappers that came out of them, they always talking about selling crack and robberies and all kinds of stuff like that. You know what I mean? We still idolize from rappers from the '80s and '90s that were talking about gang violence and you know what I mean. All of this is all about being the cool guy, whoever can get the most girls and all of
Hold
that.
on. See, so let me make sure I understand what you're saying. You saying
Yeah.
you agree that was 50 years of destruction. That's what
I
you
was,
said.
I think it's longer than that. Any music made from black people in impoverished communities had you know, lyrics about destruction, drugs, violence, prostitution, pimps. I seen a movie the other day in the '70s about pimps. You know what I mean? And it was
Yeah,
playing pimp music in the back.
yeah,
At
super
the
fly.
it's Superfly. There you go. You know what I mean? It's
So we
all
got
has to. It all has to revolve around being the cool guy, getting the most girls. That's,
being
that's what's
cool.
cool. You know what I mean? Hip hop is cool. Everybody want to do that. Everybody want to be a rapper. Everybody want that life.
So we
And
got Unc, we got C agree, and we got T that disagree with the 50 years of destruction. Let's get Volk in there.
I would have to agree with Charleston on the 50 years of destruction part. I do see why T is picking like the Suge era because I think they took it to a new level for sure, and that's why I would agree with T on that. But I mean, we got Easy E before that. We got Nas talking about the street life of in New York before that, glamorizing it, making it sound cool. We got Easy E talking about what he was doing.
Ice
Real
T,
G, yeah,
Ice
Ice
T,
T.
mid
So
80s.
all those guys date back further than Death Row. And so I'd even take it a step further and say that even though this stuff wasn't like outright like gang violence and celebrating drug dealing and stuff like that, but just that whole machismo, alpha male, I get all the girls, I take a muscle bound man that's put his face in the sand, all of that bravado talk, it came out of an environment that came from that environment because it wasn't a good thing. These are guys who are overcompensating. These guys were taking the superficial aspects of being a human and glamorizing it. This is not stuff that our great grandpas would have did. That's not stuff that our slave ancestors would have thought was cool. So I think that whether we recognize it or not, already at the time of LL Cool J, all that kind of stuff that I'm a hard guy, I'm a hard nosed guy, that stuff was already going in the wrong direction.
why do you say that though? Like, why do you say that this stuff just happened a couple of years ago? That's not true.
For me,
Bravado, machismo, wanting to be the best, doing things that are
you're
not the,
asking me.
Yeah, I'm asking you, like, why do you say that when
No,
you
no, no.
look at
I'm
history?
not. I'm not saying that. I'm agreeing with what you were saying. I think that it's been around for a long time. I'm saying even L Cool J. I'm agreeing with the 50 years part, as Charleston White saying. I do. Like I said, I agree with T that
But you
Death
said
Row
that
took
our
it to the next level.
grandfathers wouldn't do this and our grandfathers wouldn't do, like, why do you say that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think that when the black community's marriage rate was above 90%, I don't think that we were at that moment in time thinking that I'll take a muscle bound man and put his face in the sand. I don't think we thought that was cool at that time.
That concept
You
has
know,
always been cool. You know what I
huh?
mean? That concept has always been cool though. You know what I mean? Being the toughest, being the strongest, being the tough guy. That concept has always been cool since the beginning of time.
I
It
think
all
it's
has to go
one
back.
thing.
Mhm.
I think it's always been a part of the masculine. I don't think it was something that was to be celebrated. Unfortunately, in life, we have to flex our muscles. To quote one president, I think it was Franklin Roosevelt. I believe it was him that said, "Walk softly, but carry a big stick." That
Pause.
was the old days where you walk softly. You didn't have to talk about how bad of a man you were. You were a bad man or you weren't a bad man, and you had to be a bad man, quote unquote, whenever the situation arose. but it wasn't something to be glamorized. If I was with my son in the 50s and I had to like demonstrate my physical prowess on somebody, I would do it. But I told my son, this is an unfortunate circumstance, but you got to be ready at all times. But it's not something we go around bragging and talking about.
I have
We
to
don't.
disagree with that because your son in the 50s would have wanted to be Joe Louis. Why do you think they got pictures and posters of Joe Louis all around town? Why? Because he's the best boxer in the world. So that's what I'm saying. That same of being bragging and boasting of being this tough guy, of being this machismo, that same mentality has been around for thousands of years. It's always been celebrated. Are you disagreeing with me?
I think that individuals who were heroes were celebrated, like Joe Louis, for sure. The villains weren't the celebrated. So I would agree that Achilles, Joe Louis, Hercules, Jack Johnson.
Heroes or villain is all about perspective. One side might see you as a hero, the other side might see you as a villain. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm
versus
saying.
Ali, they definitely saw Joe.
Joe Frazier.
Ali.
You talking about Joe Frazier?
Joe Frazier, yeah, versus Ali, they definitely saw Frazier as a villain.
As a villain. I'm from Philly. Frazier did a lot of things for the community. Still got his gym to this day. It's all about perspective. That concept of having the machismo of being the best, of being the baddest, of being a tough guy, that same kind of concept, that same mentality has been around for thousands of years.
No, hold on.
Even
I'm
before
making
we
a
know.
distinction between being the baddest and being a tough guy. I'm separating those two things. Outside of that, I would agree with you, but I'm just saying the baddest didn't have to be the tough guy.
But how does that?
Like I would say, Achilles was the baddest. He wasn't a tough guy. Hercules was the baddest. He wasn't a tough guy.
You talking about fictional characters. Let's talk about Genghis Khan. He was a tough guy and he was the baddest. That's a real
No,
person.
he's not celebrated. Genghis Khan is considered a war criminal. He was considered a warlord.
In America. In Asia, he's not.
To everybody except for the Mongolians, he was not a good person.
Not just the Mongolians, the majority of Asia, which is damn near the population of close to 1 billion people. So that's what I'm saying. You're missing my point. You're bringing up Achilles and her. These are fictional characters. We're talking about a real person who was a bad person technically, or the tough guy or whatever. Look at him. He still has statues to this day. So you can't say that our grandfathers and that's not true.
Unc, y'all want to chime in?
No, they got it. We can go to the next topic.
Send that. All right. Yeah. Any closing statements on that topic?
That's all I had to say, man.
We talk about the difference between I think hip hop has been celebrating. I'm gonna just bag it as violence pretty much the whole time. And I'm gonna clarify and say senseless violence almost the whole time.
How did you come with your Googles? Huh?
Man, I'm still working on it. T, get out of here, man. Stop bringing up old stuff. Yeah. I start living the past, man. Say what I said.
Okay. So T, before we move on, Unc, I'm saying, well, C said before 50 years has been going on. Unc said majority of the time, and Volker said, yes, it had gotten worse in the 90s, but majority of the time it was destructive. They all agree with Charleston.
Yeah, Nas and Eazy-E was already on it.
And Ice-T was even before NWA. He was like, I think mid-80s, 85.
Well, his whole concept was about it wasn't anything violent, right? But it was all about making money in a way of taking advantage of women. I just say
but that's destructive. That's what Charleston White is saying, not just violence.
I just said it wasn't violent or anything,
Mm-hmm.
So is it destructive? Vegas don't think so.
No, I'm talking about 6 in the morning. He breaking in people's houses. That's his first song.
Okay, if you want to nitpick, but in general, he was a fly dude. You know what I mean? Every rapper got one song. Yeah.
I guess if you're going to use real stuff, fine, whatever.
You know what I mean? Every rapper got one song. They talking ignorant, man. But his whole premise was a fly dude with a ponytail, man, getting females, man.
He was a
pimp. In general. Yeah.
Yeah, I just said at 6 in the morning. I did this. I forgot the lyric. That was on Top 5 movie. He was breaking into
Well, first
somebody
of
out.
all,
That's how I remember the lyrics.
never mind.
Nah, go ahead and speak. Share it.
Nah, you good, man. Go ahead.
Oh man. All right, man. So let's just close it out. Last question. Let's talk about. Um, I mean, it's related to what we was talking about earlier. Let's talk about something that's been around over 50 years now. Hip hop. Are we better off because of it? Black society.
100%, yes, man.
We better off.
Yes, yes.
All right. Um, let's go with Unc, and then we come back around. Y'all can explain. Are we better off?
As a culture,
Yeah,
I'm gonna say yes.
Because of hip hop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes.
All right. See?
Yes and no, but I say yes for real, for real.
All right. Vote.
Come on, man. Of course not. This is crazy.
Since he the first to disagree, we're gonna do like last time. Explain why you disagree. We're gonna work our way up.
When you look up subcultures in general, but be it rock and roll, hip hop, whatever kind of subculture you can imagine, red light district over there in Atlanta, how those subcultures thrive is there's a few people at the top who make money, get fame off of it, while the people who are constituents of that particular culture suffer because they don't have the skills to properly assimilate into dominant culture. So when the youth, specifically Black youth who don't have fathers, they subscribe to hip hop subculture. It's a culture within America that is in some ways antithetical to American cultures, meaning that it goes against some values of American culture in some ways. It makes it harder for the everyday average person that subscribes to that culture for them to successfully to make it in the dominant culture. So that's just one piece, whether it's the garb, the hair, the demeanor, the body language, the mannerisms, the articulation, the vocabulary, all of those things inhibit the social mobility of young African American males because they subscribe to the subculture of hip hop. And that's true of all subcultures. The people at the bottom suffer. The few at the top that are able to succeed based off the popularizing of that particular culture, they succeed. But the percentage is less than 1% that succeed in that versus those who suffer. Over time, if they able to take over the culture, it can change. Hip hop's become so popular that in some ways it's not as bad for the youth as it was when it first started. But it's still not that great. I was talking to a young man that I hired today about this similar topic about how he was stressed and how he came to the interview. My point is saying this, that's just one of many things I can say why it's not good for our community.
Man, hip hop got that man a job. You saw how he was dressed, and you saw he needed help and guidance, and you hired him. Hip hop is making the community better, man. Niggas is getting money out here because of hip hop.
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%.
100%, man.
100%.
Hip hop is getting money out here, man. Opportunities, man.
Think about it. We got more.
Y'all all disagree, and this man just said he disagreed. I mean, y'all agree that it's our culture is better because of hip hop, and he just disagreed.
We got
he got his arms folded too, so you're not playing around.
So go ahead, start it off. You agree?
Listen, man. Even with all the violence, because here's the thing: I think hip hop is telling the story of violence, but I don't think hip hop is the source of a lot of violence. It recounts what's going on in the community, which is violence. It's attached to drugs. All those things are from hip hop. They're just now that hip hop does glorify it, but I think music, especially hip hop, and we're talking 80s, early 90s, is oftentimes because of the skill set that's possessed before they even figure out what skill set they want to apply in the real world is something that gives them an opportunity and a platform, not only to create generational success and generational wealth, but also to be successful without assimilating. Now, to Volker's point, I do agree that the majority of any subset, any subculture should figure out how to assimilate with the dominant culture. But I would also proffer that at the end of the road, hip hop is the dominant culture.
All right, all right, all right. We gonna. I want Vote. Let's get TN and then C, and we're gonna come back to Vote.
Okay, yeah. I go ahead and concur with everything Unc said. The reason we on this platform now is because of hip hop. The reason
James used
why,
to be a battle rapper, man.
Explain that. Explain that.
well, we're talking about a guy who's criticizing hip hop and he's getting compensated for it. And in return, we're talking about another guy who's criticizing hip hop and we're giving our opinions of that guy who's criticizing hip hop. So overall, it is beneficial for everyone in this community to the point where different genres are incorporating certain cadences, beats, and topics, right, to create musically that mimics the hip hop genre. Period. We see it, we hear it.
Yeah, I agree.
Country, we have country singers. When you get that little black twang to it, we make it more popular than what it could ever be. I hate to say it, R&B has a little flavor of hip hop also, where we have one of our most popular R&B singers trying to dabble and dab into that country community, just by her influence and impact of, you know, her being who she is outside of the community.
But I
The
guess
powers that be.
let me interject for a minute. I guess you're actually agreeing with some of Vulcan's points because yes, we are talking about hip hop, but as a whole, we're talking about as a community as a whole. A few of us I mean, it could be arguable that a few of us are benefit from hip hop, right? Like I think you're talking about the R&B singer. I don't know if it's Beyonce. That's one person, but overall, as a community, are we better off? So the examples you're giving are giving the examples that you were giving. There's still a small group of people that actually capitalizing, like Vulcan was saying earlier. It's the guys that's on top or are benefiting the most, and the people underneath them that's participating suffers the most.
All right. When it comes to hip hop, it's actually something very unique and special that can save people's lives, right? And it actually gets to the point where whoever is that person to be chosen to give music can actually give us music to take our mind off of daily day things we got going on and just listen to a story or just imagine things that's going on with that person versus focusing on your own life. So I think that is very therapeutic in general as a whole, to the point where you can know if somebody listens to hip hop just by the way they wear their hat. You wear a fitted hat, you into hip hop, white or black. You understand? So without hip hop, there's no telling where we would be, right? Or where we would have came from, because we wouldn't have no outlet to actually take ourselves out of our situation and get sung to or rap to from someone who can really generalize their experiences and say, hey, you know what? I like this rapper because he's relatable. That's something I've been through and experienced. So it's more of a therapy session when it comes to listening to rappers than anything.
So that's some of the reasons why you said we're better off because it's therapeutic, right?
There you go.
Well, I mean, but overall, I don't know if we could say is well. I hold my reserve my comments. Go ahead, see.
So I mean, I say yes because it's 2024, man, and we got more black millionaires than we ever had. And a big majority of that, and the reason for that, big reason for that is that hip hop and all of that.
Academics.
I wouldn't say academics. I mean, academics is cool, but to be honest with you, the hip hop culture, just from streaming to blogging to actually recording, the producers, It's so many people that make millions of dollars of very successful careers that are involved in the hip hop community that don't rap or
But
don't
isn't that to highlight Vulcan's point again? That's a small group of people that's actually
I
benefiting
would
off of that.
I wouldn't say
Hip hop
small.
is a subset. It's
I
not a
would
lot. What?
no, I wouldn't say small because again, based off of my generation and the generation under us, it's so many independent streamers. Like these
Mhm.
guys that just blog and make a lot of money, even if they're making 45 grand a month. You know what I
Oh,
mean? They make it
hold on, see,
sustainable.
but it's a small percentage of millionaires just in the country in general. It's a small
Well,
percentage of millionaires.
So
that's
I,
what.
I would proffer that makes us a microcosm. That's a full blown assimilation to the dominant culture.
Right. Well, so well, I was saying not even just the millionaires. It's guys that's making 3 to 4 to 5 grand a month by doing something that's involved with the hip hop culture. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, that's not millions, but that's an entire new industry, a new field for
Hmm.
our culture to take advantage of. And so, we don't know where we would be without hip hop. You know what I mean? It's so many people that was involved in hip hop that's funded and you know what I mean, expanded this industry. You know what I mean? On the other side, yeah, you could say that hip hop is the only kind of community or only kind of rap or kind of music that where we beef with each other and kill each other and stuff like that. Because when you look at country artists and rock and roll artists and stuff like that, it's not necessarily as prevalent with us. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
People make disses, people die,
Yeah,
you get famous off of people's, demise. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I can understand that, but
and that's why they say a lot of times the labels benefit more than the artists. Book, you want to speak to what Uncle T and C was saying?
Well, just to clarify the numbers part of it, because I do agree with C, and I think T may have, I can't remember if T echoed it himself, but I know that I think Unc did it as well. That there are people who get rich off of this stuff for sure. My point that I initially started out with, that's less than 1% of the population. The average black man makes, I think, in this country, 45,000. Well, I'm not going to assume all those black people are part of hip hop culture, but my main point is saying this: the percentage of millionaires in the black community off of hip hop, not even including millionaires off of tech and all that kind of stuff, just hip hop millionaires, is less than 1%. And that goes
But
what I
but
was saying
but
about.
Vulcan, we I want to not focus on the money, man. We talking about in general. Like
Yeah, yeah,
money doesn't
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
necessarily.
agree
think.
with you.
Yeah, I
No,
think
I
he was
agree with
just
you.
addressing the money part. He's gonna get to his other points.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, T. I'm only addressing that because that was what was brought up. That wasn't my point. I didn't bring up the money thing, this much of a point to me. But the guys brought the money, so I was addressing that part. That is still, it fits in what I'm saying. Is less than 1%. So taking the money thing taking the money thing out, and just focusing on culturally speaking.
Yeah.
Anytime a culture, whether it's emo culture, hip hop culture, anytime you develop your own type of vernacular slang, like all the hip hop slang that we all use today, it makes
Talk
it
about.
difficult. Yeah, no, I'm talking about, it makes it difficult to
Friday.
make get a good grade on your SATs. It makes it difficult to uh, speak articulately in an interview because your working vocabulary is based off a subculture, not the dominant culture. Again, that goes for emo, that goes for hip hop. It hurts the youth as far as them getting jobs that pay them well so they can have strong financial families. So that was my point again about the when you're fully ensconced and enveloped in a subculture, whatever one it was. Now, hip hop is, as C pointed out, worse because we glorify violence and drugs and taking advantage of women on a level that the other music combined can't compete with. So I would say when you add those elements to it culturally, it's definitely a lot worse for our community. We don't need it. T brought up the point about as far as it being therapeutic. I agree, music is definitely very therapeutic, and hip hop's very therapeutic as well. But if we got rid of hip hop before hip hop existed throughout the world, music was still being therapeutic. So we can still keep the therapeutic aspect of music and still get rid of hip hop.
Hmm.
I disagree because the music that was before hip hop was unrelatable
Who?
to black people in certain environments.
You mean like the blues?
The blues,
I
the
don't see how
music
that.
back then when they had black people and blackface.
Jazz.
Could you make money off of that stuff? Like, can you make money off of hip hop, jazz, and blues? Like, nah, like, no.
We talking about the
you couldn't.
therapeutic. We're talking about the therapeutic aspect of it.
Right.
Yes. We're talking about the cathartic aspect of the music. He said
Yeah, every civilization has had music. I mean, but you go into the bushes of Africa or the Amazon, they got music over there. So every culture has music.
To them. I think T is speaking from a personal perspective and not being objective. I.e., he grew up in the time of hip hop. So for him, hip hop is what is therapeutic. But music before that, it was therapeutic to the consumers of that time's music. Like my father don't like hip hop. My father finds hip hop aggressive.
The jazz and the blues that was put out back then, most people can relate to it because they weren't in them conditions. If you had a rapper speaking on your behalf, you'll be able to become a fan of them.
Yeah, but related to is,
but blues is blues is the black man's story. People related to the blues.
Hold on. I think you're arguing two different points. There's one thing to relate to something. Is one thing when a music is therapeutic. You can listen to jazz and that can be a form of therapy, you know. So, but relating to it, I agree.
Yeah, I can listen to classical music that I more or less can't relate to, and I find it therapeutic. I hear elevator music that I find therapeutic at times.
Yeah, so I think that's two different points. Relatable, I can get that point. It's hard to probably relate to just listen to some instruments or sounds like jazz, but it definitely was therapeutic for our culture back in those days.
Yeah, our parents, a little mobile or whatever the thing was that was floating around us in a little crib, wasn't playing hip hop, and we found it therapeutic and went to sleep.
I like how y'all using my word and twisting it to y'all on the agenda. I was not saying that, but it's cool though. I'll let y'all cook on that one.
So what did you mean when you said people couldn't relate, or people couldn't relate to music before hip hop?
Right. What I'm saying is, okay, yeah, you had all that music back then, right? Instrumentals with no lyrics, whatever, right? Like Vulcan was just screaming.
Are we ignoring the blues?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
But it hits different when you have an artist speaking your language and rapping and telling stories about things you can relate to. It resonates better. It gets to the point where you don't even want to listen to.
Were blues artists telling?
Hold on, because I know Uncle doesn't want to let the blues things go, but T's point's not really based off the blues thing.
No, he's saying that we'll more work. Go ahead, Vulcan.
I just want to say this right here. Hopefully I didn't lose my point just now. Oh yeah. The thing about my issue with what T's argument is about the relation thing, most of the folks that consume hip hop can't relate to hip hop's message. That's my issue with what T is saying. Now T and those of us on this panel can relate in a lot of real ways, but the primary consumers of hip hop are not black.
That's not true. That's not true. What are you talking about?
No, it's definitely true.
No. What's true is
you said the primary consumer of hip hop is not black people.
It's not black.
Primary consumer of hip hop is young white children.
Yeah, most people that buy hip hop. Most people that buy hip hop.
Yeah, but
by the numbers.
You go to the shows.
Can we look at the streams? You know, like that's everything is ran around streams nowadays.
Yeah, that's where we get the numbers from.
Disrespectful, Vulcan.
Hold on, T. Hold on, C. What did you say, T?
That was disrespectful for you to say that shit, Vulcan.
What if it's true?
It's not true.
Still
you know it's not true, huh? It's the white people go to the shows and they pay money to buy them tickets.
That's a consumer.
That makes them the primary consumer.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
Just because they pay for it don't mean you the prime. Okay, if you want to use consumer as far as like literal cash and dollars, then yeah, we talking that. But when I say
that's
consume,
what we're talking about.
Let me explain what I mean by consume. Like consumption, listening to it, downloading. That's a form of consumption also.
Streaming?
I would say white folks still are the dominant group.
White folks stream hip hop more than black folks do.
Well, see,
we got.
But listen, real quick. Let me make this point. T. There's just way more white people in America than there are black people.
Facts,
so by the numbers, it's true either way it goes. White
when
people
when I go
hip-hop.
to shows, though, man, I don't see little white people.
Hip hop is the dominant music. Hip hop is the favorite music. And if you think that black people alone, or even majority wise, are pushing hip hop into the financial stratospheres that it's being pushed to, that's a wild thing to say when
Yo, my
black
man,
people
I
only
just
make up
clarified
like
what I meant
13%
by
of the American population.
what I meant by consumption. I clarified that.
Right, but what you're talking about streaming, consuming the music. It's still white. It's still young white kids by the numbers.
Would you?
Any measurable that you want
Okay,
to
well, let's
that
talk
you
about
can
that
prove,
instead of what you
it's white
talking about as
people.
far as money.
Right. But what I'm saying is streaming is also you actually brought up the we just said consumption. You
Right.
brought up them going to spend money at the concerts. We're talking about just people who
No,
are
I didn't bring that up.
consuming
You know,
music.
Again, radio stations, websites is going to be over 70% white.
okay, what are we talking about now, man? Because we're getting off subject.
No, we're definitely on topic. You said, well, Vulcan said that the primary consumer of hip hop in America is not black, and you said it's disrespectful. I said, what if it's true? You said it's not. We're on topic. It definitely is true by any measure that you can think of. The primary consumer of hip hop is not the black person. Even if you say 100% of black people listen to music, that's still only 13% of the population.
13% of the population.
13% of the population. So just
that's
by
not
numbers, white people
Hispanics.
consume hip
That's
hop.
not whites. That's not Asians. That's not Jen and Mac, China Mac.
Right, that's fine. I
None of those guys.
I stand corrected. Y'all got that one.
All right,
But C had a point. C had a point he was going to make earlier, though.
Where see?
Oh, I mean, I just said.
I know you said when you go to the shows. I heard you say when you go to the
Oh
shows.
yeah. So when I be last time I've been to a show or when I go to a concert or something like that, for the hip hop that I guess listen to, and I would say that's the majority of what's being played right now. I don't see a bunch of young white teenagers. You know what I mean?
Were you in black cities? What, name the city you were in. Tell me the city.
Yeah, Philly.
Well, I've been to a show in Detroit. I've been to a show in Houston.
Okay, that's what do we call Detroit? That's Motown, right?
Motown.
Those are predominantly black places.
Houston.
Name a non-metropolitan city that you're talking about. You saw predominantly black.
You said non-metropolitan.
Yeah, dominant. It can't. Gary, Indiana, no.
No, I'm not talking.
Detroit, no. Atlanta, no. Houston, no.
LA.
LA is a black mecca.
Is it?
It's not the black mecca, but it's a black mecca. It's the second largest city in the country.
But that means for everybody, Hispanics and whites. LA is that's the biggest mixing pot you can get.
What I'm saying is,
how big was the venue? See,
look. Well, we're dealing with empirical stuff. I'm just saying when you look at the festivals,
right?
And you have the top rappers that go to these festivals. I forgot the name. The festival they do every year. Y'all see the crowd, and these are the top artists. These are top streamer artists that perform at these festivals.
DMX on stage at the beach. White audience.
Talking about, I went to Rolling Loud a couple years ago.
Rolling Loud.
Rolling Loud is a very large. Again, the majority of people I seen was either blacks and Hispanics. Of course, we seen some white people out there, but I don't really see a bunch of young. I personally didn't see a bunch of young white.
Who did you go to see?
It was Rolling Loud. It was a bunch of people there, but again, as you know,
you was there for the whole day.
I was there.
Ain't no way. See.
Bro, it was a movie.
What year did you go?
Different topic for a different day. It was 2019. She was rolling. No, it was 2018. But one of those. Anyway, essentially, I didn't really see a lot of young white teenagers and stuff like that. They were definitely in the crowd. But again, I think that certain hip hop, certain rappers and stuff like that, they appeal to the audience. Like, for an example, I'm sure it's a lot of young white kids that listen to 21 Savage, but the majority of people that listen to 21 Savage and that really relate to him is black people. You know what I mean? There's somebody like Doja Cat, she's considered hip hop, and it'd be a bunch of young white people, and she's one of the top selling artists right now. You know what I mean? I think hip hop has gotten so broad that I don't know.
So essentially, you're saying like the real hardcore street guys like 21 Savage, most of their fan base is probably gonna be black versus those that Doja Cat could be considered pop, but she's a black woman doing hip hop. It's her doing pop music that could be considered.
Okay, but Drake. Let's name the top. The top two rap. We got Kanye and Drake. We'll say those two guys. I know they
You can't use
had the
those
both albums.
examples, man. You
Why you
No,
can't
I'm
can't
just
use
saying.
it?
I know the year that they both dropped. Certified Lover Boy, and Kanye
It's
dropped his
not
album.
about that. Kanye's
They're the
too
biggest albums of the year.
Kanye's too
Is their audience mainly white or black? Or sorry.
Kanye.
Is the audience mainly black or non-black?
Well, Drake is technically a pop star, so I would say the majority of his is of course non-black because Drake makes music for everybody. If you look at his catalog, he got
Yeah,
pop, he
he
got
can be
rap.
considered pop. He argued about that at the
You know
Grammys.
what I
He don't
mean?
think, yeah, I can see
But
that.
Kanye, before his mom died, was pro-black. Everything was black. Kanye now is so controversial. I mean, I think that's a bad example to use, me personally.
Yeah, I mean that's
I'm just
debatable.
picking them because I know they both dropped albums the same year, and they had they were the top two albums that year for hip hop.
Yeah, but
The year
Drake
that they both
did.
dropped it the same year.
But Drake did complain about that with the Grammys. He don't think he should just be categorized as a hip hop artist. He need to be in a pop
star.
artist with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, but that doesn't change it. He's just saying that he transcends any one category. That doesn't mean he's not a rapper.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
He's still a rapper, but
all right.
I think it's a bad example, me personally.
When I hate to cut it short, we went past our time. We could probably pick this up and probably start with this topic. I'd just like to thank everybody that participate. Like I said in the beginning of the show, this is a Critical Thinker show. We have been going for a while. Apologize for that, but we're back for all the votes. Like I said, I've been reading the comments. We've been getting all the texts. We are back, slowly getting back to our grind. I'm Eno Spock. I'm here to serve you humility and dedication. I'm going to take it around the room and start with Unc. Any closing thoughts?
Snitch more.
Say again?
I said tell more. If you a citizen, man, tell on the people, man.
Okay, snitch more.
We
No doubt. T, what you got for our folks, man?
The only thing I got is when it comes to Charleston White, don't just listen to me. Don't listen to Charleston White.
All right, my man C. Man.
I would say just take a step back, man. Look yourself in the mirror, realize what kind of person you are. And I think everybody deep down inside know what's morally right and wrong and what they want for their life. And if you want something, man, you got to put yourself in a position to go get it. Black, white, Chinese, anything like that. You know what I mean? That's all I got to say.
All right,
All
man.
right, and another thing.
Go ahead, T.
And I'm out on this. Fellas out there, make sure you wash your hands before you piss and after you piss.
What? That's crazy.
I'm out.
All right,
Hey,
peace.
stitches get stitches, man.
All right, peace. All right, Vulcan, any closing thoughts?
Thank everybody for being on the show today. I hope everybody had a great time. Please like, subscribe, please share. If you have any comments, any type of topics you want to be discussed, please send them in. More than likely we will cover that stuff because we enjoy discussing what's happening out there in the culture amongst the people. So please send them in. And I hope y'all enjoyed everything we had today.
Again, I want to thank C for coming in. I want to thank T.
Sure.
I want to
Appreciate
thank,
you, man. Definitely good perspective.
definitely bro him. I couldn't get my man K on here. Next time we be able to pull you in, but yeah, definitely appreciate
it. Man, though, if you're being honest, man, he ain't come through for you, so we trying to approach you like that.
appreciate y'all coming through and appreciate y'all participating, man.
Sure,
and
man.
then we out.